Arrived in the players' holding area, and let's take a look at them now. They're interacting with each other. We're gonna pull one of them. JP.
Hi JP. Pwede ka kausapin? Can talk to you? So what's going on right now? What are you guys doing?
Alan, mga pampakalma lang para before laban.
Just trying to calm themselves, playing with each other. Who's the most nervous out of everybody?
Sa ngayon siguro, puro excited lang nararamdaman kasi sanay na sa stage.
So they've gotten used to the stage. It's all excitement that they're feeling. Who could not sleep last night?
Yung San duo kasi ayaw nga nila magtabi sa kama, kaya ayaw magtabi kaya hindi makatulog eh.
The San duo could not sleep last night. That's sad for the Sanji. They couldn't sleep beside each other. They couldn't sleep beside each other, so they couldn't sleep properly without being with each other. So they're like twins, inseparable. So out of everybody, you have the most experience in the world stage. And Carl T's, you've been to the M series before. The four of them, first timers. What's something, an advice that you gave them to make sure that the nerves don't get in the head and they can perform their best today?
Sinasabi ko lagi na parang kaya naman nila yung kalaban sa tapos kalma lang lagi tapos walang parang overhype ganun.
He's telling them that they can handle the team. They just need to be confident and they can do their thing. All right, I know that you got some stuff to do, so good luck. You got this. Echo loud.
Echo proud.
To Blacklist International. We're gonna put somebody here that's available. We have come over here. Okay. Oh, don't trip. We still have a game. What's the first thing you ate today?
Corned beef.
Are you nervous? Yes or no?
No.
And who do you think is gonna be the finals MVP?
Me.
Who's the best Matrix Caesar?
Me.
Wow, confident. Okay, I want to know, how's the feeling this time around compared to M3?
I think it's the same.
The same. And what is the same feeling? What is that feeling?
Excited to get on stage and win.
If you were keeping an eye out on one specific player from the other side, who is that?
Yawi.
Why?
Because their gameplay revolves on Yawi.
What's your message to Yawi?
Good luck. May the best team win.
May the best team win. Let's get it on. And the teams are preparing for their battle. Best of 7 for the grand final. But how about the opinion from the talents? But before we heard from them, let me invite our Queen Mara. Hi, Mara. You want to hear from our talents here? I had to run all the way to the players' room. Now, you know, this is going to be a really exciting match. So we got our talents. We got a little bit of a debate going on right here. So on our right, who do we have?
Blacklist!
Wow, okay. Dave.
Yeah, Blacklist for the win!
Okay, for Blacklist, representing Blacklist International, there's James, Assassin Dave, Professor KB, and Wolf.
I think Wolf is on the wrong
side.
Oh, really?
We need to push Wolf on the other side. This curse is too strong.
Oh, the curse, the curse. Oh, the wolf curse. Okay, right over here. For the side of Echo. There's Gideon, Mirko, LaFell, and Leo. Wow.
Go round! Echo round!
All right, okay. We gotta settle this right now, Clara. We gotta
know why Blacklist deserves to win and why Echo deserves to win. Let's do OJ. You know, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins, that side goes first. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Okay, I won. I go first. All right, here we go now. Here we go, Orcas. What you got?
Boys, this is a simple one. Echo is by far one of the greatest. And how do we know they've got the youngest players? They have an M2 World Championship jungler to lead them. The next generation of Filipino mobile legends is here. Tell them, Leo. Best world.
Wait, that's not what Orcas say, right?
What noise does the Orcas made? What did they make?
Is that what the sound?
Is that how? No, Orcas like.
To be honest, you have one MVP, we have the whole team that won M3, and they're gonna do it again. We have the best duo in the world, right guys?
We got a few eyes on the Blacklist International, right?
That's right.
Best duo on the world.
Okay. Wow. Statement. We got the best duo. What you got?
Hey man, you got a duo. You got a duo. You got Oheb, sure. You can carry. Usually throw Oheb, Haji, but we can carry through. Sanji, Sanford, Yawi, Benny. And guess what? Comes easy. Best in the world.
Wow. Okay.
We have super AI, okay? Blacklist is all about the playstyle. It's all about the discipline. It's all about everything that Echo does not have.
Discipline. Wow.
Blacklist has athlete. Come on. We got F-Wise, we got Oheb, we got Haji, the KDA machine, right?
Yes.
We got the number. Blacklist is number one.
Oh, they got the numbers. Number one. LaFell, what you gotta say to that?
Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm here because I'm upset. Blacklist. Because I want to buy their jacket. It's sold out.
I got the last jacket. I got the last one.
Loyalty can be bought. So if like, you guys can hook us up, then, we can trade places. Is that right? That's right. Loyalty can be bought.
Hey, LaFell, how about a jacket and a jersey and track pants and some shorts? Some merch from Blacklist. Will you come over here?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a jacket for them?
Where's Elonia?
Are we giving him a jacket?
Have you seen their varsities, bro?
LaFell, you want to change your heart?
Okay. Since we're on the side of Echo, no. Echo Brown.
Oh, we thought we could buy him over.
We thought we could buy him over. Yeah, but we know, we don't have to buy him over though, because we know that Blacklist International, they're the trendsetters. They set the meta and everybody just follows. And if you're looking at the past the matches that we saw from Blacklist International and Echo, and even other teams, like they're just really following Blacklist International. They haven't broken the code.
Okay. Leo, how are we gonna break the code?
It's very simple, isn't it, Leo?
Oh, they're discussing right now.
We're discussing. Come on,
They're discussing.
You guys just hold on. Okay, we need Leo to hype up a little bit. This is gonna be short and sweet, just like this best of 7.
Yeah, we.
You ready for this, Leo? All right. Echo is gonna need the help of Limang Echo fans all around the world. Limang Echo fans, so that they can eventually become best in the world.
All right, Clara. We gotta settle this with a cheer battle. All right? Okay. Let's hear that time.
Gonna start, ladies and gentlemen. I say Blacklist, you say break the code. Blacklist, break the code. Blacklist, break the code.
Okay, Jace, you gotta save that voice for later. Let's hear it from the Orcas.
Come on, we can do better. We can do better.
Okay. Echo loud, Echo proud. Everyone, ready? Echo loud!
Echo proud!
Echo loud! Echo proud! Echo loud! Echo proud!
There you go.
That's amazing. Okay, this is we also have exciting news for what's happening with Mobile Legends Bang Bang this 2023. Let's watch this.
2022 was a fruitful year for Mobile Legends Bang Bang Esports. Now, let's take a quick look at what more can you expect this year. After kickstarting the year with M4, we have the second MLBB Women's Invitational, or MWI, 2023 in February. The MPL season and official tournaments will commence from February to May, including NACT and a new tournament in Turkey. Next, we have the SEA Games 2023 in Cambodia and MSC 2023 happening back-to-back. In July, we also have the first ever Snapdragon Pro Series MLBB Challenge organized by ESL, as well as the World Cyber Games, or WCG 2023. As the second half of the year starts, so does the second half of the MPL and official tournaments, leading up to MPL Invitational in November. Finally, we will end the year, of course, with M5 in the Philippines. 2023 is going to be a big year for the MLBB esports ecosystem. None of this would be possible without our amazing fans and incredible community. Thank you.
We've written news and MLBB in Cambodia and M5 will be in Philippines, Philippines. That's amazing. It's only fitting that the next World Championship will be held in the strongest land of all, with the strongest players. Philippines, Pinas lang. Malakas! Now before we proceed, we'd like to call on stage the President of the Philippine Olympic Committee, Mr. Abraham Bambol Tolentino. Please join us. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Jakarta. Thank you very much, Munton,
for
for
this
this 2022 M4 Mobile Legends Bang Bang Championship. We're so excited. Who will be the winner? Echo or Blacklist? But definitely, it will be from the Philippines. Thank you very much.
And
And
we're
we're
more excited
that the next
M5
will be in the Philippines.
We'll
We'll be excited
to
to give you the best hospitality of the Filipino. So see you guys
M5
in
in Philippines.
Philippines.
Thank you very much, Jakarta.
Thank you very much, Munton.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tolentino, the President of the Philippine Olympic Committee. This is going to be very exciting. And regardless what happens today, Philippines will come out as the winner. It's now time to find out who is the strongest amongst all the regions, the best team, the fiercest. Let us now start the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M4 World Championship. Dare to be great!
Champions. The relentless agents from the Philippines marched through the M4 World Championships with sheer dominance, taking down opposing foes one at a time, and claimed a spot in the grand finals.
He's gonna fight it as well. Haji takes him down, and BLACKLIST is the first Filipino team to confirm a grand finals spot. Right now, looking in the room, looking inside the scene.
Orcas have swam their way through adversity and proved to be a worthy contender. Behind the leadership of Carl Teasy, the M2 Finals MVP, Echo is ready to stand loud and proud on the stage.
Sa mga kalaban namin bukas sa akin ko. Sobrang gusto ko manalo bukas para sa akin at para sa kakampi ko.
Gagawin po namin ang lahat para sa trophy na to dahil ito po yung matagal namin nangangat ng simula pa. At hindi na po kami kiligil kasi one season na uwi na lang po kami.
Are you ready for the grand finals of M4?
Ultimately, there can only be one victor each year. M1, the first ever world champions, EVOS Legends. F2, the meteoric rise of Red Esports. And M3, Blacklist International, which finally broke the code. And now, it's finally time to commence the grand finals of M4 World Championship. Now this is a wonder to behold.
dynasty, legacy, destiny. They dare to be the greatest, a showcase of Filipino excellence. Welcome to Hawaii, at your service. My name is Leo, here with Mirko and LaFell, and we'll be bringing you the grand finals of the M4 World Championships. Gentlemen, it's an honor to share the desk with you tonight.
Man, feeling great as usual. I am honored to be here with you as well. Leo, LaFell, this is the grand finals. You know, coming up to this, leading up to this, there was a lot of doubts as to who would be here. But the Philippines are still here as the top region. Echo versus Blacklist. Whatever happens today, I'm happy to be a part of history because either the defending champions will get back-to-back champions, or the first ever defending champions will go down and have to let the new blood come in as the new champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight would not be possible without our sponsors. M4 is powered by Muton, presented by TikTok, the official content partner, supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming chair, and esports charts, our analytical partner. Gang, our official merchandise partner, MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not least, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. The M4 Pass available now. Complete all active tasks, and you will reach level 75 with ease and for free. Log in now and get exclusive rewards such as the Beatrix Light Chaser and Stellar Brilliant skins, and of course the M4 Beatrix skin. They're all waiting for you in the pass. Use the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBB M4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. And that's exactly what these two teams here came to do. They flew out from Manila. They flew out hot after their grand finals performance in MPL Philippines Season 10, and here we're seeing the rivalry of a century.
They didn't just dare to be great. They are great. They've proven in this tournament how much progress they've made throughout this tournament so far. You can see that again. Blacklist International and Echo, they have very distinctive styles that make the team work. So far, Echo Philippines have not been able to break the code. But here in the grand finals, it's a different stage. It's the world stage, and it's the highest level of MLBB in the world. Best of 7 is set to test the best of the best. Because within the best of 3, it's very tiring. Best of 5, even more tiring. Best of 7, it doesn't just test your physical strength, it tests your mental strength, and it tests your strength as a team, the strength of the coaching staff. This is where your limits are tested.
And all in effort to take home the grandest prize of them all, the M4 World Championship Trophy. It's got a revamp since we last saw it, since Blacklist International took home the M3 title. And here, from Echo, the House of Highlights, the Orcas, they're going ahead and sending new blood into this competition, this rivalry. It's Sanji, a rookie from Season 10, making his way into the runner-up, into the grand finals of Season 10, and now on the world stage. Can you imagine what it must be like?
It's crazy, right? Both of these players, they have a very interesting style. Because usually as a mage, you want to be in the back line, you want to provide damage, but you want to stay safe. These two, they don't know what safe is. Safe is everywhere, right? For them, it's in the front lines. Even in the middle of the team fight, they can create these spaces for them to deal as much damage as possible, but also take none of the damage back.
Here's the thing, I would say they dare to be great because they have the skills to outplay, and that's the thing. It's not that no one chases after them. It's not necessarily their positioning is the safest in the world. Everyone's after them. They put themselves in danger, and they have faced danger. And within the face of danger, they use their spells. They use like the winter truncheons. They use the immortality to make sure that not only do they stay alive, they get the kills, they get the objectives.
The highest level of MLBB, there's a very small margin in terms of skill for both of the teams. And these two teams risk everything to get that small advantage to be able to get the dub. And here we're going to see exactly what are the keys to victory, starting with Blacklist International. Blacklist International, they got to continue to evolve the Ube, but I don't think that is like enough. They got to make sure that they got to help OHEB to snipe through the Benny Cutie Hurricane, and I feel like that is definitely one of their key to victories, where OHEB is going to be quite tested, because the Ube strat we've seen during the best of 5 can actually be crumbled. And
that kind of situation, Oheb, he's gonna be like the main target.
I like the dichotomy between their gold laners, Oheb and Benny Cutie. They're both amazing and the greatest at what they do, but they're also very different kinds of gold laners. Benny Cutie was born and bred to be a split pusher, and when it comes to team fights, he is so good at finding the right target. When it comes to Oheb, it seems like the Filipino sniper was just created and cultivated to be able to carry, but he needs the right setup. Echo, talk us through, LaFell, what exactly the Orcas need to do to take home their first World Championship.
I would say use your own strength at Yaoi, as well as the Sansan duo, because Yaoi, when he is able to use a cash-type hero, he's the one that dictates how the fight goes, because going up against Blacklist International, you want to initiate the fight. You don't want Blacklist International to put you in a dangerous spot. And with that being said, the Sansan duo, Sanford, as well as Sanji, honestly, just give them the heroes that they can thrive. Give them heroes that can outplay their laners, and they can win the game for you.
Give them a winning lane, a good matchup, right? So that they can scale and actually create a snowball for themselves. Now, again, we need to talk about this duo, and not just the duo, just the entire Echo here. They're dynamic. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but they can actually carry from every single role. I'm talking literally every. Not just the gold lane, not even just the XP lane, but even in the roam position. Yaoi, he styles. You saw in the Keys to Victory that he needs to change. He needs to evolve from a playmaker to a kingmaker. And they're about to do that here tonight in the faces of the kings and queens of the world from M3. Ladies and gentlemen, the stakes have never been higher. These two teams have practiced their minds off, as a good friend of ours would say, and the fruits of their labor are about to come through here tonight. I can only imagine what's going on through their minds, because they're all going through their own struggles, right? Benny Cutie here has just been through the ups and downs in his years in the MPL. V and Wise have tried to shut down the haters, prove them wrong in their multiple grand finals appearances. And that all comes through here tonight. It all comes to a head. And we're about to do just that as game one begins. The drafting phase is upon us. Decisions are going to be made here, and we're only hoping for the best. We only want to see Echo and Blacklist pick up their most favorite heroes, their most powerful picks here. LaFell, what are we looking out for?
Okay. First things first, I'm looking out for the Fredrin. The Fredrin has been banned because for both teams, Wise as well as Carl TZ are really good on this Fredrin pick. Now, look at Blacklist International. Let's pay attention to the bans because they ban out the Cho as well as the Kaja. Both are pick-style heroes. Looking at Echo, they're making sure that Benny Cutie will have a better time in his gold lane. So with the 1-1 gone, with the carry gone, I would say Beatrix increases in value.
I think the Eve increases in value as well. With the Kaja banned away, with a lot of bans here, you would really think that the Eve would become the #1 in prio, but Blacklist, they opt to go for the Barats, leaving the Eve open, and the Lapu Lapu that we mentioned earlier. You give Sanford this pick, and he carries. So here's the gamble that Coach Tick and Trev have picked up on. You leave open the Eve, we're gonna pick it up, put a hero that Sanford loves, and what's the answer? What's the swing back? Do they go Benedetta? Do they go Yu Jong? Do they go Farsa? Because that seems to be the answer. And interesting. They're going for the Oheb Harith priority. We've seen this from Echo before.
I like what you said, priority, because that's how you see where their mindset is at. Because we gotta talk about the Barat's first pick, because that has to be your priority, and your priority pick dictates how you're gonna move around the map. So in this game, they're putting a lot of weight onto Wise's shoulder to actually move the entire team forward. Now that they've seen the Lapu Lapu as well as the Eve, they understand that they want to set up a box. So we gotta move around the box a lot. Haji, signature pick on the Farsa, and it's kind of like setting up. It's like, I don't care what kind of marksman you're gonna pick. I'm gonna be able to survive my lane and actually impact the game, and I would say the mid stages of the game.
Now though, you can already see the respect being given over, right? Blacklist International, this is the draft that they went for. A lot of magic damage. Without the S picked up in the early phase here for Blacklist International, Echo will take that away. Secondly though, you can expect Edward to actually get
counter or just targeted here. Maybe the Benedetta ban comes through because Blacklist still need a physical damage threat, but they still are going to try to...
Ay, sorry, nawala yung stream.
Before that, we got a quote from Oh My Venus saying, we're kind of expecting that teams will ban the Estes and we're actually prepared for it. I'm looking forward to see Estes in the banning section. And now, it has been banned. And what better place to show your maximum potential in the grand finals of the world stage?
With the Lolita being picked up here by Echo, they're leaving Benicuri in both a dangerous and also protected spot because again, they want to make sure that he isn't fully countered, but also you gotta wonder what else is out left there because the Beatrix is out, the Brody is out, they themselves panned out the carry and the 1-1. Are you seeing a carry here? Rather, a Matilda?
Yeah, I'm thinking
there it is. Matilda, Blacklist International lock it up. And Benedetta 2 earlier on. They need a physical damage threat. And guess what? The Barats actually work super well with Matilda, and that's the reason Echo banned out all these marksmen. They wanted to go for the Lunox. They wanted to go for some burst damage and some more magic damage, knowing that Sanford on the Lapu likes to go for just a lot of damage. Remember, yesterday we saw the Hunter Strike, the Bloodlust Axe. This is a very physical Lapu.
I would say, with the draft coming in from Blacklist International, this is a very good draft to start game number 1 because it is a very simple draft. This is what is going to give you confidence moving to game 2 onward. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from Blacklist because you can make very little mistakes with this kind of draft, with this kind of gameplay.
Yep, signature picks for all of our defending champions. For Echo, I'd like to say the only thing that's missing for me is the split push potential from Benny Cutie. It's not as potent when you're on a hero like Lunox, but what it does have is amazing team fight engagement. A lot of damage when you hit your power spike. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Indoors tonight and all across the world. I hope you're ready. It's time for game 1 in this best of 7. Blacklist International and Echo.
Looking at both drafts, I would assume that they're not going to fight a lot in the early stages of the game. They're going to fight around Riverside. They're going to fight for the control around the turtle because they want to make sure that they have the levels first. So if you see any kind of rotation, it's all about maximizing the minions to make sure you get as much level 4s on your heroes before going into the turtle phase.
With 2 utility junglers, this is what you can expect, right? A lot of emphasis around the mid control. Why? To control the neutral objectives like you mentioned earlier. The control plays such a huge impact in this game, and you can already see it for both the teams, Venus and Haji, Sanji and Yaoi. They're focusing a lot, putting a lot of resources down into that mid lane to create some more pressure, but still, it's Blacklist International to secure the Lethal Wanderer.
Okay, so now, looking at Blacklist as well as Echo, not a lot of action will come true. I'm thinking they gotta find a way for Echo to get Yaoi onto level 4 because that is a very big ultimate to have in the turtle fight. It's coming up in roughly 36 seconds. So Echo as well as Blacklist International, both teams we saw in the best of 5 before, they like to see what the opponent wants to do first. Blacklist is asking Echo, Echo is asking Blacklist. Now Yaoi might get engaged for a little bit.
He does have the flicker here. Pops the flicker just to escape. Blacklist International with the resource advantage for the first turtle spawns in 15 seconds.
That's going to be Blacklist here, knowing that they can find time, but Benny,
or they call it low, flickered out of that. Blacklist International now with 2 advantages in terms of resource, and maybe even Oheb can rotate down below.
Oh, but there's 3 members from Echo here. Sanji still clearing the wave. Carl Easy Dash goes on now. Sanford setting it up. Turtle doesn't have health. That's going to be the final blow by Edward. Carl Easy comes down, but has the heavy spin. It does not matter. The first blood picked up by Echo, but the turtle will be slain by Blacklist International. Killed for objective Benny. Going to be slain in the gold lane. Blacklist strikes back, making it equal. 2 ults spent by Blacklist up top. Echo takes 2 down in the bottom, but they do get Turtle. I'm talking about Blacklist. Was that worth it, LaFell?
I would say it's not that worth it because, in my personal opinion, getting kills is very good because you can establish map pressure. Because what's the objective of getting the Turtle? Sure, you want the goal, sure, you want the XP, but you want more control. Now, Edward going up against Sanford took quite a bit of damage, and Sanford's going to get chased.
Circling Eagle onto Sanford here. Haji does not have that airstrike. Down right to the track coming in. Sanji. To help him in time. Sanford falls in the XP lane. The Festival of Blood lifesteal is just not enough at this level. 3 minutes in, and I'm not sure if there's enough. Yeah, no, none at all into the emblem.
Many though, look at that, that's gonna be the damage coming in. They do not blast charged in, but knowing that OHEM has the Purify, they decide not to commit just yet.
Yeah, looking at all of the emblems as well as the way that they're setting up, Sanford, his personal goal in this game is to get at least 3 kills. Once he has that 3 kills, he will maximize his emblem. My Venus getting poked out just a little bit. But now, looking at the map, if Echo could give those 3 kills over to Sanford, we can see Echo being a little bit more explosive.
You can expect that Sanford's gonna look for it. He's gonna pressure Edward hard here. Sent him home just now because they want to time the way that this Turtle goes. Again, we're 20 seconds away. Many could be pressuring Moab as well. Oh my Venus and Yawi playing footsies, making sure that their gold laner gets the advantage.
The zoning coming in again, right? This is what we kind of expect in the gold lane matchup. Harith, once you get to level 4, isn't really going to be able to threaten the Lunox. And even in the XP lane, we saw that Edward was winning early on, but now that Sanford has gone that level 4, has gone a few items down, it's a bit tough for Benedetta.
Turtle already spawned. Carlthese spots out Haji. There's the RWM.
Not going to be able to find anything else though. The stun does connect with the feather airstrike connecting on Sanford. The protection fly locks him down. Edward finds the pick up. Blacklist International now with man advantage. Rotating around the Turtle, circling Eagle onto Yao. He's going to be able to find the stun. Carlthese jumping in. Doing a flash charge, reflector as well. OHEM with no Purify here, doesn't use it just yet. Tries to win it. Retribution battles the top. This is on force. Now Yaoi going to be able to dodge away for now. That's a lot of burst damage. Yaoi will be slain by Edward. Echo losing out in this trade.
Blacklist has amazing battlefield awareness. They knew exactly where every member of Echo was. They almost threatened orange steal from Carlthese, but they're not done.
A stun and a knock-up. It's still Matilda Airlines here for Blacklist International.
Blacklist is showing what they want to do with this draft. You want to establish control. You want to make sure that the Riverside, you're winning. And the specialty of having a Matilda is when someone overextends, they're not really overextending. In their previous fight in the Turtle, they were very focused. What do we want to do? Turtle first, but now they want to kill.
They get it, right? It's on to Venus, the roamer.
Anything that Echo can get here in the first 5 minutes, they will. In the first 2, they were willing to trade and get some advantages, but now wait, a stun on the OHEM, force on the 7 force, off the Purify as well, the real world relation almost catches OHEM, but he is able to get out of that one. Haji rotating towards the gold lane with a feather airstrike to clear it out, protecting his tier 1 up top. This is difficult because we said for Echo, for them to win, they have to win the lanes. Here in the early game, not exactly the story because Blacklist now ahead maybe 1.5k. LaFell, what's going on?
I would say it's not enough because Blacklist, they understand this as well. So as long as they delay, as long as they wait for OHEM to get 2 items, then it's basically they're already doing at least half of their win condition. So it's not about Echo not doing it. It's more about Blacklist seeing this time and time again. We understand how your draft works, so we're just going to play around it. So even though, okay, so here's the thing. Echo, they needed to win by 2k, by 2,000 gold. That's LaFell's threshold. So in Blacklist, having 1.5k lead ahead, they're really at the driver's seat.
Well, right now it does seem that way, but Echo are going to be able to force it out. OHEM going to be caught low, but Venus comes in to save OHEM again. Haji with the rotation, certainly Eagle lock Yaoi down. Good selection right now. The feather airstrike will come through. Yaoi going to be able to get the stun down onto Venus before he gets taken low. Now, guess who's here? It's Sanji with real world relation. Jumping in, but that you go. It's going to be the guy there. He's slain down by Benny. He uses the chaos to take him down. Sanji still poking Venus down. Echo are looking to get the siege down onto the tier 1. Meanwhile, on the Turtle side, Carlthese is going to be taken low with Sanford. 2v2. That's the bravest fighter popped into the backline right now. Carlthese is going to be able to find it, and he's going to fall. Edward finding the stun onto 2 with an eye for an eye to dodge away from the CC. But still, Echo
They win out on that trade. Not just that trade, but on two fronts. They pushed up top, got a kill down bottom, and took the last hurdle of the game.
We got a lot here because again, 500 gold, that's great, but Sanford having 1 kill. He has 1 stack on his emblem, but now looking at this, bro, he's easy too deep.
Looking for a steal here. He does get the orange buff, not punished enough. But like the national rolling in the gold lane once again. We spoke about this. Winning lanes is how Echo can get it done, and Benny. 3 kills on him right now. Finest example of caster curse. You start talking about it, you start questioning it, and it comes up almost immediately. Yahweh with a nominal blast. Infamous welcome to cancel it out. That's the anti-CC coming in. Sanji does the damage onto the tier 1. Bravest fighter by Sanford just to get out. Gets that anti-CC down, unstoppable. Meanwhile, Blacklist International trying to make their way up to the gold lane. Gonna be poked down by Benny as Carl TZ sieging down that tier 2 in the gold lane. Carl TZ gonna be careful here. He takes the turret down, gets out with relative ease. What a swing for the House of Highlights. Unbelievable. I can't believe that maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago we were talking about how Blacklist was ahead, possibly way past the NFL threshold, but now it's Echo who's pushing it 2.5k ahead.
Well, they have gone way and above the threshold, and the way that they did it is because they understand, okay, we're just going to stay in lane. There's no use trying to out-rotate Blacklist at this point, so we're just going to say because OHEB is going to be the one that's going to deal a lot of the DPS damage later on, so shut him down first. Right now, there might be a skirmish in mid.
And the airstrike was used up just to clear up the waves. Echo, with his composition so far, can constantly be threatening these sieges. And also, they can also be looking for a lot of plays on the map. A lot of kill pressure here in their lanes.
Yup, and that's why they're ranked first in average kills so far. 16 plus, because the way that they attack the game, the way that they approach it with their strategy, is they want to convert from kills. They don't want to take objectives only. They want to win first and then go from there, which is, they think, what they're doing here. They're baiting the Lord. This is a Lord dance I've ever seen. Oh, Sanji's taking low. Edward jumps in, but Sanji flickers out for final blow. The defensive find still available by Edward right now. He uses eye for an eye, but Sanford notices that. Jumps in with the bravest fighter. A lot of resources spent already. Is wise. Looks for a better position. Haji gonna be able to actually dash in by wings. And that's where the flash connecting onto Edward. Edward gonna take it low. Taken down by Sanford. That's gonna be a 50-50 play around the board. Wise here versus Kotizi. Carl takes it down. It's on point by OHEB. Not enough to deal with damage right now. Xiao's gonna be able to get the stun down onto Haji, who's gonna be able to dash out of that one with by wing. Feather airstrike to snipe Sanji down. Oh! With the dash, takes the kill onto Haji. Was that Benny QTD? No, he didn't even need the flicker.
That was Benny QT. And again, looking at the items here, because we got to see whether they are strong now or not. Looking at Benny QT, having 3 core items, while the SD Line Treasure as well as Divine Claim. Right now, oh my God, it's getting hit by Yawi.
Then we're not blast again, opting to be down. Venus gonna be chased down under the tier 2. Wise here providing the support. Carl TZ looking for an angle, but will back off for now. Tier 1 falling in the mid lane. Echo pushing the pace and the tempo.
Thou shalt not take my queen, says Wise. Echo pressuring mid lane tier 2, even tier 2 down bottom. That's Sanford going solo. Lord up top. Echo is 5k ahead here, 11 minutes in.
It's still not over because Blacklist International, they can still come back because they have a very beefy front line, as well as a lot of damage coming in from Haji and OHEB. OHEB just finished the Holy Crystal. Looking at the damage from Haji. Haji can't connect it just yet. Carl TZ is spotting people out. The Lord is here. Will Echo engage?
They will. They will not blast. Charge up already. Just so that the members away. So OHEB jumps in with some on-force. Twice in the front lines, providing the support. Real world manipulation faded in. Sanji not dealing enough damage for now. Blacklist just backing off. Echo doing the same thing. Noticing they have the lead. It's disciplined plays from Echo.
Relatively safe defense and siege from Echo. They did their best to get the most out of that Elemental Lord, but we have a numerous one possibly coming up in a minute and a half. Forcing out a feathered airstrike. Echo is relentless. They're not leaving.
Yeah, but look at the way Blacklist, they're defending themselves because they're not necessarily sacrificing their own HP just to defend their base. Like, they're defending everything without taking too much. So now Blacklist, they're preparing themselves. In case Echo wants to engage, they can fight back. The problem is, Echo, they're not engaging. They know that they have a lead and they're not going to lose the lead. Looking at the items as well. Oh, before that, looks like everyone is just clearing everything out. Looking at Haji, he already has 2 main items. He's waiting for his own Holy Crystal. Once he has the Holy Crystal, the kill pressure is going to be a lot onto Echo. So right now, Blacklist, it looks like that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for their carries to actually complete the items first.
It looks like Echo has cornered Blacklist into their base, and this is the trademark Blacklist defense. A lot of teams worldwide have been on the receiving end of this defensive rubber band, and it's not impossible that Blacklist still comes back. But with Echo at 6K, playing this defensively, playing this disciplined, waiting for this Lord coming up in 5 seconds, it looks like Echo also knows how to combat that.
It's going to be really tough now with a 7,000 gold lead technically built up by Echo. But with Blacklist minimalizing their losses, it seems like despite that 7,000 gold deficit, they're still able to contest, they're still able to open up the map without grouping up as 5.
Now looking at the map as well, Blacklist, they're not really moving away from each other. They should understand that this Lord is going over to Echo for free. Having that Lunox makes it very difficult for him to contest.
And that's the power spike we're looking at. Echo, this is the inevitable. They have set themselves up for success here. And for Blacklist, the answer is to send Agent Zero, send Edward into the long lane and try to push that, because not a single tier 1 has fallen for Echo.
They didn't have to use the Retribution, by the way. So Carltese was able to steal the purple buff away. So right now, again, Echo just building up the way, slowly but surely, to finally take some base turrets down.
This is what kind of feels bad as a Baras. You kind of don't care too much about your buffs getting taken away, but what you do care about is it's hard for you to maintain those stacks, because Baras is at his strongest at like, what, 15 stacks? Because looking at Wise now, that is a pretty small Wise.
That's a small dinosaur there, and you're right. While Echo's taking away even the small camp, the small creeps in Blacklist jungle, and then freezing the waves, waiting for it to sink with this Lord, then this is the best that Blacklist can do. Oh, there's a couple of ults spent in. Oh, and very low. Edward can honestly go down blast, and Benny jumps in with the damage. That's the combo, the notorious one. As Echo now looking for the siege into the base tournament lane. Lord still marching in the top lane. The seal play can be popped in. Echo looking for more. That's for the impact pop. They built it down pretty good, comes under. Haji, but he's going to be able to get out for a bit. Haji gonna fall. The circling eagle does not save the queen. Oheb, the last man standing, but the goal to secure game number 1. Ang limang Echo fans making noise all around as their team takes game 1. It's a long journey, folks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So game 1 is great for momentum, but they still gotta watch their backs. Blacklist will pick up so quick from this victory.
Looking at this game, the reason why Echo could beat out Blacklist International is not that Blacklist necessarily made a mistake, is that Echo did not make a mistake. Because with the draft, having the Matilda, they're trying to bait out Echo to over-engage, overextend, use all of their skills early to get any kind of objectives and then fight back. But Echo, they did not do that. They won the lane. They made sure that Oheb was heavily pressured, and then after that it's like, okay, just don't overcommit, just take things slow, and then end the game, get profit.
Orcas are killer whales, right?
Correct.
And that's exactly why they know how to use the kill pressure so well. In the gold lane, they knew Lunox versus Herod is a winning lane for the Lunox. Mini QT on a winning matchup. That's already a recipe for disaster if you're a Blacklist fan. Now, they utilized that so much by ganking towards the Lunox. Early on, they weren't going to be able to find those kills, right? But as the Lunox progresses, with the levels starting to gain up, and with those items starting to stack up, that's when the Lunox gets the power spike in the mid-game, and they utilize that perfectly.
Not just the laning phase, actually even in team fights, Oheb's Harith was in such trouble. Again, we saw there the winning moment from the eyes of Sanford. His Lapu-Lapu here, despite having a difficult 5 to 6 minutes, picked up. Again, I think he was just waiting for LaFell's timing and saying, you know what, I need a couple of kills, I need the blood, the physical blood tap triggers, and the bloodlust axe. And then even Oheb is in trouble. So with that being said, I think we're gonna need the help of our analysts to break this down. There's a lot that happened here, starting with the draft, a lot as well that went into the mid-game spike for Echo, and even Blacklist struggled to find the rubber band. That's what's scary about the squad, the Orcas. Again, you're right, they're killer whales. When they smell blood, they go for it, and they have perfected the execution, even when it comes to lore dances, fellas, right? It's so hard to deny that Echo knows exactly what's happening. So with that being said, we're just waiting for our analysts to call in because I'm pretty sure they'll have a field day with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you that Battle Night is about to happen. That's happening on January 21st. We've got a lot going on, so make sure you log into the game. There's a lot of in-game bonuses that y'all can have, all right? Extra BP, star protection points, free hero access, epic skins that come out that very night, so make sure y'all log in, all right? That's happening on January 21st. Let's all celebrate the M4 World Championship. Whoever takes it home, whether it be Echo or BLACKLIST International, let's all celebrate and tell all of your friends. Now, folks, I think we've said enough here on the desk. It's Lafel, Mirko, and Leo throwing it over to the analysts because they're going to talk about the draft, show us who the MVP is, because I still think it's not so clear-cut. Real quick, who do you think it is?
Oh man, it's a really tough one here. You were going to say Benny? I'll say Sanford. Both of the side lanes.
Okay.
Now I'm confused. Swap, Sanji, there you go.
You said, because between Benny and Sanford, that's exactly the perfect setup or payoff. Who's who, right?
I mean, like, okay, let's just slowly talk about it, because Benny Cutie, he stopped the win condition from BLACKLIST. I mean, to be fair, BLACKLIST, they gotta win the river, they gotta win the jungle, but it could not happen, even if, say, this game extends a little bit longer, right? Benny Cutie was scaled up. Wise will not be able to sustain the damage coming in from the Lunars because, again, there's no Estes, there's no healing. He can run away, but when he comes back, it's not gonna be much. So for me, it's Benny Cutie.
Okay, ding ding, Sanford or Sanji.
You know what? I'm gonna make a last minute change here. I think I'm gonna give it to Carl TZ, actually. The hidden carry.
Okay, best in the world. Let's see who it actually is because it's time for the analysts to break it down. Hey, fellas, talk to us.
Great MVP predictions so far. Thank you so much, Leo, Lafel, and as well as Mirko. Here at the Analyst Stand, we're going to break it down to you to uncover the mysteries of what this code is so far and what Echo is doing correct. My name is Getting Q. This is going to be Most Wanted in Southeast Asia, Wolf, as well as Assassin Dave. You are going to be the mediator here, and it's important that you give a non-biased opinion. I repeat, a non-biased opinion. But with that being said, let's break down straight from the draft. I mean, so far, really strong start coming in from Echo.
Now, I gotta say, I really like the Lolita come from Yaoi, because every time you give this player anything that can initiate, that can set up a good team fight, this player will pop off. And you saw it in the last game, right? The entire set of Echo, they had a momentum. They understand which objective do they want, which power do they want to pressure. You saw Yaoi was set up camps on the top tier 1 tower, and they find a lot of early game pressure to mid game pressure.
Oh, there's already the code that BLACKLIST International has done, right? We know the pattern of what they're doing. Actually, if you're looking at that game, it's a pretty standard BLACKLIST game. What Echo did differently this time is they snatched this hero, Lolita. That's why I really agree with Assassin Dave when he said that Lolita was a great pick, because not only does it like present to us how good Yaoi was, but also how good the drafting plan was for the side of Echo. They countered everything that BLACKLIST wanted to do with their picks.
Well, if we're talking about the draft, I mean, those are the bans, but the picks overall, I think to the naked eye, most people would understand that, honestly, they're kind of the same thing. They have the exact same goals with very slightly different tools.
Yeah, and I want to mention that in this game, it's one of the first games in the entire series that we do not have any marksman at all. Right? Like there's a Lunox versus Ohab on the Herrick, on the goal lane, which is quite interesting because Benny's Lunox actually counter Herrick in the late game. You can one-shot with the combo that Lunox has in the kit, and you can look at items. Benny is fully decked out on damage items, no defense whatsoever.
Yeah, he didn't need to because of the fact that he has a lot of feeling, right? You have Yakai, the front line for you have Lolita to kind of save you in those dire situations, and the Lapu Lapu as well. BLACKLIST International, as we said, this is the normal code, the standard place, like coming off BLACKLIST International, but the order of picks allowed for Echo to actually kind of win over those matchups. Lapu Lapu kind of wins versus Medinera in many regards. Akai can win versus the Akai, if you think about it, or it's kind of 50-50 if you think about it, but of course Yaoi, not only did he prevent like the combo of BLACKLIST International, he also protected their own Lunox. That's why I really like how Echo designed game number 1.
Yeah, and I like it too, personally, when it comes down to the down to the little details, the little tools that they have. I mean, the fact is, it's really hard to break her out of the real world manipulation unless you have a suppress. And again, I mean, Oh My Venus can't really do much about it. The same goes for Edward, but you can't say the same thing for Echo because you have Lapu Lapu jumping in on the far side, which already is one difference maker. Let's not forget about the invulnerability coming out of Benny QT.
Absolutely, and one thing that I want to mention for Echo in the game 1 was momentum, right? It felt like in the beginning of the game, Blacklist really captured the momentum of the game, but somehow towards the mid to late game is when Echo really start pushing, right? They push a top tier 1 tower, they find the objective-based play, and they give them so much clarity on exactly what they need to do. With a player like Yaoi on the setup, that was just clear gameplay.
Yeah, it wasn't easy though. For 7 minutes, they kept on trying to break the momentum of BLACKLIST International. BLACKLIST leading a little bit. Echo was trying to take out OHEM up top. Eventually, after 7 to 8 minutes, Sanji was able to land the killing blow onto OHEM. It did, it did require them to have a lot of tries, but they were successful in the end. And 2-0 Nate, we saw this, Gideon. We reacted to this. His flicker to the left side during the Lord fight, that was crazy. That was, what, criminal.
That was criminal gaming for sure.
He is just stealing hearts and stealing minds at this point. The conditioning is starting to build up, but this is only game number 1. So people at the casters desk, this is your MVP going over to Sanji. I'll let that sit in for a little bit longer, but I think, we really have to make sure that the draft doesn't escalate for this, especially if you are in Blacklist's position. Are there adaptations that we're expected to see?
Yeah, and Sanji, well-deserved MVP here. I want to mention one of the lore fight, you talk about he flickered to the left side. That was beautiful, and also he was lingering with 1 HP, right? Very little HP, and he still had so much impact. Just to show you how much impact he had in the early game, this is from the beginning of the game to 5 minutes. You can take a look at Sanji's heat map, right? This guy in the mid lane would dominate the mid lane and start voting towards the EXP because Turtle was towards the bottom side in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and then eventually he will go to the gold lane where they want to really kill OHEM back out up top. They know that the way for them to win the mid-game team fights is to deny OHEM to the farm. But then again, you see BLACKLIST International how many times they have saved OHEM. Now OHEM also played it well, but eventually they will have to fall to the tempo of...
in the beginning, BLACKLIST had a momentum because they understand that win condition as well. That's why you saw Farsa going towards the top side help OHEM so much. I think we're going to capture some highlights here. Whoa, this is one of the engages, even though the Turtle went through Blacklist, but Echo got 2 kills out of it.
I think even more so, you can see just the small little plays coming out from everybody here. They're trying their absolute best to make sure that they minimize the profit coming in from either side. But once the momentum started to fall into Echo's favor, I think this is where things started to change, especially for the gold lane.
That's right. We have to talk about Troutings here, and although we aren't seeing a lot, the way he secured all of these turtles, then eventually the First Lord, then constantly just applying the pressure against BLACKLIST International while keeping himself safe and really just reaching around the Lord area. I think that's also amazing coming out from Troutings himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Here from the highlights, you see how clear Echo rotation were, right? They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly which tower they're trying to get. And sure enough, it paid them many dividends. And I think going to game 2, BLACKLIST need to think about their momentum as well. Once they had a game plan, you stick to the game plan instead of being disrupted by Echo.
Yeah, we are not allowed to predict the draft because we're not getting the draft, right? But I kind of want to project. I think Lolita is going to be a prime commodity next game.
All right, Lolita could be the commodity here. Casters, are you ready? Because game 2 is about to begin. Take it away. The bespectacled boys of the analyst stand are getting heated. Who wouldn't, right? With a matchup like this. BLACKLIST International versus Echo with the Orcas drawing first blood. There's a huge case for everyone to be MVP, but yes, we had to take our hats off for Sanji there. Real quick, let me remind everybody about the M4 Battle Night goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in the game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose a skin you like the most from the chest. Aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP and double BP for 5 matches. We are not stopping there. 5
matches. Again, gotta play them. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. Save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the matches you play, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championships together, including your friends. I'm on desk here with Mirko and LaFell, and again, it was mentioned earlier, and they showed us everyone can carry from Echo.
And that's why we had such a hard time predicting the MVP for game number 1, right? Because, sure, you said it was Benny. Benny did maybe close to the most damage, onto the Barats, especially, just melting him down. Sanji with very good zone, very good damage too. In the end, I said Carl Tizzy, right? Because the way they played in that team fight was every single member from the side of Echo had their own agenda, had their own tasks, right? They were going to dish out damage, some of them are going to put Blacklist in a disarray where the front to back that Blacklist have drafted for themselves would not work. Meanwhile, Blacklist, they played for this one vision, one mission, and that's what gave Echo the upper hand.
So now we gotta look at the hero pick recap, and yeah, Sanji did a lot of damage, 59,000 damage, that is a lot. But yes, like you said, the way that they're moving around with this draft, I would say this is quite a difficult draft for you to play discipline at, because there's a lot of ways for you to start the fight. So you are tempted to actually start the fight, but the way that they're doing it is they completely understand, we don't have to, as long as Blacklist are not here, are not present to protect their turrets, to protect their jungle, then we're just gonna focus on getting the objectives. Like we see Echo, they can play explosively, but looks like for this game, they have very much matured, and I like that I said before, they learn fast, and they learn very fast in this game. They're only doing it what is necessary.
Yep, in hindsight, given what Echo has employed, it's a clear box strategy. Again, you see it on the map. It's the Eve, and then you have the Akai, who either pulls someone in or pushes them out. For Blacklist, I think they were put into a position, forced into a position wherein they had to break that box. If they couldn't, then they were on the back foot, and that's why game 1 went to Echo.
And I love the fact that in the early game, right, Echo, the way they played it was they're completely fine with actually throwing bodies at Blacklist International. Sure, here, have a frontliner, have another, because it's always just Yaoi and Carl Tizzy who actually gets taken down, right? With that, they give so much space to the other carries, the Sanji, the Sanford, and even Benny to pop off.
And folks, with that being said, it's so important again to pay attention to the draft. You can't go into war without the right tools, the right equipment to win you those battles. Going into game 2 here, it's about time we get into the draft. Well, what changes do you expect?
I'm expecting a change in the way that they're drafting for OHEB, because even in their key to victories, you gotta look at OHEB to really carry the game, and for him to have an easier time, he needs to make sure he wins the lane. Sometimes that does mean you're gonna delay your hero a little bit, potentially getting banned out in the later stage of the game, but at least you have the information to know what's going on. And in fact, looking at the draft right now, we talked about it in the pre-show where Blacklist International, they do the best as a second pick. So far right now, in the first pick, they don't have the necessary information of what Echo wants to do. So, you know, it's one of those things that we don't talk about so much, but as a team, not having their preferred, I would say, side to pick a ban may actually hurt them as well.
And that's exactly what's very interesting here, right? Because Echo, they do better in the first pick position. Now they're actually popping off on the red side of the map, second pick. Meanwhile, to Blacklist, like you mentioned, they do enjoy being the second pick a bit more. We saw from the statistics earlier on, 72% win rate. But here, you can see the adjustment also made by Echo. In game number 1, they banned out the Estes in the second phase of draft. Now, they're prioritizing it here, but they're leaving out a hero. Open. Blacklist did this. They banned it. Frederick.
And now, this just shows the priorities that Blacklist have. Being here in blue side, having that one pick is so powerful because you get to build the lineup around it. And the answer by Echo is a Farsight and the glue. More of a hero that we don't ever see. And given that the Fredrin was the focus for Blacklist, now Echo have again solid choices for drawing that box.
My question is, because they're picking up the glue, are they like trying to bait Blacklist International to pick up the Faramis, because the Faramis is one of the counters for Blue, but it looks like they're not going to bite. They're just going to take the Valentina, and this shuts down a lot of playmaking ultimates, just like the Brock with his wild charge. But before we go even further, this is a cool bite tic-tac. Their chemistry is really solid since they've been together for a long time. It's so hard to cut them down, but this is the hardest part in fighting Blacklist International.
And I completely agree, Coach Dick. They have been together even before they won the World Championship. And now, a year has passed, and they're still here. They're still making a claim for that trophy that we're all looking at the center of the stage. Going into the second phase, Echo bans out XP lane choices, because again, Sanford's happy with the glue. They go ahead and ban out the Lapu Lapu. I just gotta say, there's an odd absence of Joy.
Yeah, the Joy here not really going to be prioritized by any of the teams in the first phase. Heck, we might even, we might even actually see it ignored completely in the draft for Game 2. Joy is a bit of a gimmick hero. That's what I call her, right? Because it's all about just distracting the enemy team. Anyways, though, I do want to talk a little bit about this XP lane, or just Blacklist International's draft, because in a lot of their drafts here, we usually see that Fredrin is used as a flex pick. Not for Blacklist, though. Every single time the Fredrin is picked up by Blacklist, well, not every single time, but 90% of the time, it's jungle, right? They always want a playmaker on Edward. That's the reason you're still seeing that Lapu ban here, the respect being given out, and also the Claude ban. They want to get rid of a hero that can blink out of the Detonus Welcome, can blink out of the real pure engage from the glue, even from the poke that's coming in from the far shot.
But I still like the way that Blacklist are drafting, because we've discussed that the way that they're going to win is through OHEM as well as AdWords. So now that they've seen at least 80% of the draft coming in from Echo, now they should have enough information to really understand what kind of heroes they should get, because if OHEM and Edward lose lane, they're going to lose priority in the jungle or the riverside, and that's really going to impact how Blacklist plays. So this last two picks will really impact, because at least now they see the Brody. What do you want to use against the Brody?
They still need to put a... Yes, but they also still need to put a hero on Agent Zero, and that might be the key. Benedetta's still open here, but it looks like Echo has an answer. Oh, no, there you go. We mentioned the Joy.
And they left it open. It's the Franco from Yaoi too. I love it, right? Again, we mentioned about the Joy. More of a distraction than a prio pick, right? But it is a good pick here. Noticing that Blacklist International, they're going to have that backline really targeted down by Echo. So what the Joy is going to do here is to create space by being that annoying hero in the enemy backline. Thing is though, Echo waited for this. They knew it was coming, right? It was either they went for a Kufra pick, a Cho pick, or they see the Joy, instantly they go for the Franco, they can lock the Joy down.
Yeah, but given that Cho is banned out, Echo had the ball in their court. It was their shot to make. You mentioned the Kufra. Yaoi had a lot of crazy games on Kufra. Chance to play that, but instead they go for the Franco. You know, a game lost be damned, but we don't care about it going into the Valentina. We don't care if Haji gets it. And looking at it, is it going to the hands of Valentina? Yes, of course, yes. Haji, because again, there's a Fredrin. That's definitely Wise's hero.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going into game number 2. Blacklist International going up against Echo. And what I wanted to say was that Echo picked up the most banned hero of Blacklist International. They keep banning out this Franco. So now Franco in the hands of Echo. This might be a bad game for Blacklist.
Yeah, and the reason why is because it breaks the Ubin. You don't get to engage on your terms. And in the hands of the playmaker, Yaoi, it's going to be a great way to, again, either set up a box that Blacklist is not comfortable with, or a break whatever Blacklist is trying to do.
And this is a similar approach to, again, what RRQ did against Echo yesterday, right? They picked up that Franco, but unfortunately for RRQ, they didn't have anything to build around the Franco. Meanwhile here, I was questioning the Brody pick earlier on. I was like, what? Brody into Lolita? Then you see the Franco and you're like, there you go. That's what it was for. You hook the opponent away, and what's the Lolita gonna do, right? Sure, she can actually jump in, flicker maybe to get that shielding down, but it's a bit too risky, and if Venus is on the receiving end of the hook, it's gonna be a lot to deal with here. And Venus, right now, is gonna be caught. Yaoi gonna throw the iron hook. Good dodge by Venus.
Now, looking at this game, Blacklist International, I would say after the group stages, this Franco is a nightmare for them because it is the reason why they've lost. So now we got to see their evolved form. Have they been able to find a way to fight against this Franco? Right now, looking at the lanes, not a lot is going on. Wise goes down to fight against Sanford, but I don't think they can secure a kill here.
Too sustainable, gets out of that one. Wise is level 4, Carl TZ as well. Both of these junglers clearing very, very fast. In the end, it's Haji who actually steals the gold buff away.
Yep, looking at a potential 3v3, 4v4 down bottom as they both jockey for position, finding a good pull for this Lord. It looks like Echo is the one first on the scene. Carl TZ whacking away.
Oh, there's a ult!
Yeah, Sanford zoning very, very well here with the split as well. Bringing Wise away. New blast can be charged in. On to Carl TZ, but no! It's Yowie who finds the iron hook, and Carl TZ finds Retribution. Edward the back line. That's a stolen for the airstrike as the Bloody Hunt comes down. Onto Edward to lock him down. Sanford finding Wise. The flicker over. Edward picking up another. It's a 2-for-1 right now. Echo still equal though in terms of the trade because they secured the turtle.
I like how Blacklist played that fight just now because even though they were focusing on the turtle, they kind of understood that it's not 100%. It's not even 50-50. It was kind of a 60-40 at that point. So they tried to find the alternate win condition around the turtle, which is try to get a little bit more kills. So they were willing to expand a lot of their resources there. Looking at the items right now, really not a lot of power spikes just yet. The Beatrix here, piloted by OHEB, understands that there is a chance he's going to get attacked, and right now Carl TZ is getting attacked.
He is the frontliner though, so he's happy taking that damage. And Haji is going to be the one losing a whole lot of HP from Sanji. Venus does too, and now that mid control is for Echo.
And you're seeing here the difference between Haji and Sanji, a Valentina and a Farsa. It seems like now, when the ult is ready on Sanji, he's just willing to pull it out and then force Haji to respond. It's all about timing, it's all about engagement. And Yowie, did he do it? No, the Filipino sniper still confirms the gold crab.
That was an insane calculation, man. An insane micro play by OHEB, right? He knows exactly how it was going to go down. Even with the snipes there,
I gotta say, in my head, he was holding his breath like, 1, 2, just get it. And I just want to touch a little bit about the emblems because in terms of scaling, I kind of feel like Blacklist, they have an advantage because OHEB is using a marksman emblem compared to Benecutie using the assassin emblem. He's going to have a lot of damage, but still, in terms of scaling, Blacklist, they have it in the bag, and now looks like Echo, they're just gonna push Blacklist away. Don't push too hard.
Oh, not an engagement that Echo wants to go for because again, they spent a few ults there. Mind you, Yowie still has the Bloody Hunt, still has a hook waiting on him. Benecutie as well, for the part memory, goes for a full Luminous Blast charge up by the Queen, then as well by Carl TZ.
And Carl TZ is going to be able to spin him out. That's the Bloody Hunt lock and Edward down. Edward taking low, but still able to survive for now. Total memory popped in his bend. He flickers forward to pick up the kill. Turtle over to Blacklist right now. And Sanford jumps in with split, bringing Venus back for the damage to come through once again. Sanji picking up. Yowie almost finding the iron hook. That's immobilized. Haji forced the flicker out, and Echo will be able to take the better trade.
2-0. Turtle goes over to Blacklist though. As well, it's actually Echo we're talking. Wow, clear win now for the Orcas.
Yeah, clear win because they have a lot of burst in the early stages of the game because Wise being in the front line, he can CC them for a bit, and OHEB was lucky that he did not get hooked. And so far, OHEB will be fine. Looking at the items, clear power spikes right now. Looking at Edward, he's not going to be tanking a lot, but he can do a lot of damage because of the Genius Wand. So as long as he can prolong the fight, he can really help himself out, as well as Haji's skill, which Haji is using a skill kind of itemization, so he's not going to be too strong right now, but I would say in 8 minutes, he's really going to power through Echo.
Yeah. And honestly, I do really want to talk about how Blacklist International are negating the bully potential from the Brody, right? Because earlier we saw the lane frozen by Benecutie in that lane. Wise instantly stopped by into the gold lane, even risking his life just to help OHEB clear it out. And this is what's going to get Blacklist to that item power spike for OHEB in the gold lane. The Beatrix is farming very well, considering that he is in the losing matchup up against that Brody.
Yep, and we're just waiting for that to flourish. We're just waiting for that to get the payoff. Bottom lane, though, you see the XP laner just leaving constantly. Very good wave clear from both the Joy and the...
Iron hook, and that's gonna be Bloody Hawk chain in with Edward's welcome as Edward jumps in with a lot of damage coming down. Sanji with the wing by Wings getting out. Moving on last set of Philippines, twice thrown away by Haji with the IMU. Bennett's Rage able to find the kill on the Sanford. Carl TZ gonna be gunned down. That's the Iron to provide the field necessary for Carl TZ. It's a 1-for-1. The XP lane traded it for the jungler.
Look at Benny Cutie, Benny Cutie.
Oh, watch out, Benny from the back line. Oheb hasn't spotted him yet. Going for the turtle. There's the pull. Yowie as well. Look at this. Prime positioning from the Echo squad. Oh, he's revealed. There's the hook.
Yowie missed it. Gonna be stunned up. Venus actually onto the turtle. Carl TZ with a quarter of his HP bar. Oh, that's the airstrike prematurely popped in. Sandy's gonna be zoned away now by Benny. Again, this is the man that we're gonna be looking at. Wise. Gonna be hooked down. That's the moment for Benny to jump in. That's damage coming through the turnaround memory as well. Take the turtle. And to take Oheb. Carl TZ with that was welcome. Not gonna be able to find it just yet. Sanford onto Venus. Bring it back. Doing a blast to be positive. He's not gonna be able to get charged away. Edward sunned up, suppressed. Bloody Hunt popped in. Yowie gonna fall to the hands of Edward, and Sanford still wants to keep on going. Sanji rotating back into the mid lane. Wise gonna be brought back to pause here in the 7th minute of the game.
Messy engagement, and the payoff was just about to come up. Benny Cutie able to hide in that bush, put a few marks on several members of Blacklist International, plus on the turtle, which allows Echo to pummel on through forward, but you can't discount the fact that Blacklist played that very well as well.
Yeah, Blacklist played it very well, but again, Benny Cutie just understanding the situation, not understanding like just his hero, just Blacklist hero, but he's like, okay. Because I kind of feel like a lot of people looking at that situation, Oheb was kind of isolated by his team. It was prime position to just stun him up, get some stacks in, and then just kill him off just like that. But he's like, no, I'm going to wait and say, I'm going to make sure everyone is close enough. He gets into turret range, he can get stacks onto a lot of people, and get maximum value from his ult. And that's what he did. He got maximum value from his ult.
And again, there's a very thin line between, I guess, a mistake and being local, right?
That was pretty local.
That was so close for it to being a mistake. But the fact that Benny's still alive now, at the cost of Carl TZ's life, it allowed for it to be local.
And it comes down to trigger discipline, right? The fact that he was in the bush for so long, even Yowie is spotted, and he still stuck. He was like, no one checked the bush. I'm committing, bro. I'm committing. And he committed, right? Because Yowie was spot out already, they were like, no way. There's no way a Brody is waiting in that bush.
Yep. It turns out,
that's how Benny plays, buddy.
No way a marksman will flank, right? I mean, that's like an assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, Benny's an assassin sometimes. You can kind of say he's an assassin because of the way he plays these marksmen. He flickers forward, he looks for flanks, and here we're going to see the player head-to-head.
Never let them know your next move. That's what Benny did. Never let them know your next move.
And that's what makes him a force of nature. That's what makes him the storm. He just comes up. And here, leading these two players, the gold laners, are these roamers, all right? Yowie, the playmaker, and his idol, Momshu, oh my Venus. Again, they're two different kinds of roamers, two different kind of team captains, but the way that they lead their teams are just perfect for their playstyle.
We've seen it, right? Again, Yowie with more flashy heroes, but for Venus, it's time to enable, but here we're going to be put in right into the team fight. Echo with... Actually, it's pretty good trade now that I see it for Blacklist. Not that bad. Benny actually fell for the airstrike though from Sanji in the mid lane, making it in favor of Echo.
All right, something transpired in between the time we resumed and paused in, but for now, real quick, folks, Blacklist forcing out a push up top. Buff still secured per side, and we're looking at a possible kill on Edward.
Nope. That's Edward for you. Gets out in relative ease again, right? Echo trying to pressure, but now it's just for Blacklist International to punish into the goal on the other side of the map, which is going to be the XP lane. They even tried to deny as much as possible from Benny, forced to use a torn apart memory to get those last hits. This is the world stage, so I'm allowed to be a little bit more critical looking at the way that the game is transpiring.
We still spoke about this, Yowie versus Venus, and Yowie
Yawi is going to be able to find that iron. Bring it back under the tier 1. That's everyone collapsing. Benny with his one prominent free back up on that cooldown. He's going to be able to secure it. Feather edge right now on to Haji and Oheb. Haji going to be stunned up, has the feather edge strike, but both teams disengage.
King and the Queen in a flash goes out. I mean, Edward able to make the most of a bad situation, but LaBelle, what does this mean?
First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad I was interrupted because I was about to say BLACKLIST was actually looking pretty good because Oheb is going to scale up and Yawi's not hitting the hooks, but never mind. Yawi got a very crucial hook, and the thing is, this is the time where Benny Cutie, I would say, is almost at his max because he already has his Blade of Despair as well as the Fury Hammer. Enough penetration, enough raw damage. This is the time you force the fight. This is not about waiting. If you see an opportunity, just go for it.
And it looks like BLACKLIST has already found their window. Haji pulling out Sanford, Carl Deasy losing the full battle against Wise. BLACKLIST have a small favorable position over the Lord. It's closer to the south, closer to Wise, and they spot on Levinas. Yawi throws out a roll.
Now Lord Dance continues. It's a very slow Lord Dance. It's a macro-centric play here. Mid-control, Steve fought for, and that's concealed though. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to find Haji. Rage to follow it through. Yeah, we can take him down. Sanford jumps to the split. Venus, one of them on last. Stunning him like right now. Scott Deasy gonna be taunted up. But his back in the back. Razor's wrath. Still able to sustain for a bit, and Sanford still on that split. Jumps back away. So going low. That's gonna be Benny dealing out of damage. Now with the sword weapon. Lord again. Styling on BLACKLIST International.
That team fight could not have been better for Echo. 4 down, no clap back from BLACKLIST, and Echo now making a beeline straight for this Elemental Lord.
Okay, now Edward coming in, not going to be able to steal. But yeah, in this game, objectives are important. And Sanford is going to get chased, will actually get down. Yawi stops the aggression of Edward. And as I'm saying, objectives are very important, but it doesn't have to be the turrets, it doesn't have to be the Lord kills are objectives as well. And again, Echo, they're trapped, they have a lot of big potential. So they're really using their draft to define us. I like the way that they approached it. Don't fight the Lord, kill them first.
And they did. They found bodies, pushed them all the way behind tier 2 down bottom. And it's putting on my Venus just hit the ranked first one, average assist 10.4 per game here in M4, into a weird position. When do I use Numinum Blast? When do I protect my teammates? When do I find a proactive spot, a window for us to clap back? And it's looking harder and harder by the minute. Echo pushes mid tier 1, and now they're threatening tier 2 as well. Watch Sanji, he's concealed.
Yeah, he pops in the feather airstrike, zoning Oheb away as Edward jumps in closer. Sanji with the wings by wings, getting out for the airstrike being popped. Sanji flickers out, call TZ. Finding the net that is welcome onto Wise, gonna be stunned up again. No, that's not so hungry, Venus! Out of nowhere! Sanford's still in the front line, Benny Cutie dealing damage right now. Edward's gonna be able to jump into the back line, but the bloody hook catches Edward. And it's silences him, takes him down. Sanji with my wings, Oheb gonna be taken low, forced to flick around by Yawi. And Sanford flicker forward. Now, Echo still on the march. Venus down. Haji is all alone, terrifying Yawi. Still able to again, and Echo wiped out BLACKLIST International. They're looking for the head. No minions on the board. Forced to back away.
5 for 1 plus 2 major objectives pushed in by the Orcas. This is both discipline and ruthlessness. LaBelle, where'd they pull this from?
First of all, I gotta say, there's a reason why Franco is the most banned hero for BLACKLIST International. I kind of feel like going to the next game, it has to be put into contention. Now, BLACKLIST, how this really happens is because Echo always finds a way to actually dish out damage onto Oheb, because every single fight, look at where Oheb is positioning. It's not that his positioning bad, it's just that he has to constantly run away. He has to run away from Benny Cutie, he has to run away from Sanji, from Sanford, from Yawi.
Joey. There's so many ways he can get caught, and it's so hard to micromanage all of it, especially when Echo, the way that they attack, sometimes Oheb doesn't see it coming.
It sounds like Blacklist has been overloaded by Burst and also a good amount of CC. And those two things are lethal against a lineup like Blacklist, against the Ube strat. And they just can't pull it off here as Benny Cutie forces a push up top. And that's a clean tier 2 tower take, going to help open up this luminous sword for Echo. Now 8K ahead at 13 minutes.
That's insane. And on top of that, Benny's on a hero like the Brody, who snowballs like an absolute monster. You can see here, this is the play by Blacklist International. They still want to contest. Lord taking the half HP. Carl TZ still on him. This is the Lord dance. At the mid lane, pressure will be popped in from Echo. 8,000 gold. The defender airstrike will be popped in the zone. Other members away. Carl TZ for that as well. Finding it. Haji stealing. For the airstrike again. The defender strike. Why is he away? Down again. Bloody hard for the Crystal. We got down.
Damn you! On the world stage! He takes game 2 away from Blacklist International!
I just gotta say, man, the way this set up, the entire map, they're setting up for a checkmate. And then Benny Cutie is like, I don't care about pawns, I don't even care about queen. I'm going for the king. And that is the crystal there right now. 2-0 Echo over Blacklist International.
What is this man made of? Oh my god, how many times has he found this play?
The storm, the typhoon, the hurricane, Bagyong Benny, born and bred to split lanes and take games.
Wow.
The shot calling, though, that was needed to make that play happen.
I mean, again, it looks like Echo is not just they understand the draft, they just understand Blacklist in general. You guys want to clump up together, go ahead. Hey, we're going to take the Lord. You're going to contest for it, right? Well, go ahead. We're going to split push. I think this is just critical understanding of what Blacklist is going to do before Blacklist even does it. Because, again, throughout the game, they're still winning the lanes. And look at how they're rotating around the map. Because, okay, I'm not the analyst here. I mean, I'm analyst on desk, but not on the stand. But look at how when the Lord was being pushed, Sanford, he could have pushed as well, but he avoided it. He went straight to the Lord, and he didn't care about the Lord. He didn't care about the jungler. No. He just went straight to Oheb. And he doesn't care. I just want to slow down Oheb. And then because of that, everyone was focused. We got to take care of Oheb. Now that they're taking care of Oheb, wait, Benny Cutie.
Yeah, it's sensory overload, and it came down to the fact that Blacklist could not respond, and that's how Echo took game number 2. More on that in just a bit. We'd like to remind everyone and give a special shout out to Secret Lab, the official gaming chair partner of M4. We're talking about a built-in lumbar support system that you can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam head pillow, and brand new fabrics in all sorts of colors and designs. The Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair is designed to keep everyone seated in incredible comfort for a long time. I'm talking about a best of 7 that goes all the way. In the MPL Philippines Grand Finals in Season 10, they went to Game 6, and boy oh boy, was I ready for more. And here tonight, I hope everyone is. But it looks like Echo are thinking something else. They're going fast here. They're going way too fast for the world champions to respond. But with that being said, on behalf of Miracle LaFell, we're going to throw it over to the analysts.
Thanks, Leo. But today we are seeing a team that has perfected a technique. Science plus violence. Get out of the way, Hurricane Katrina, because Benny QT is going after your homes. They're going after your base. Welcome back to the analyst. My name is Getting Q. This is going to be Assassin Dave, as well as we're here to break it down for you one more time. This is an outstanding performance coming out from Echo.
There are a few things I want to mention. Number 1, momentum going towards Echo. Number 2, the name of the game is Sanford and Benny QT, right? Those two were popping off in that game. I mean, like, Sanford was literally 1v4ing with the glue. He's the monster, aka Glue Monster. I mean, like, what can Blacklist do at this point?
You know, they have to stop the momentum of Echo for sure, but it's like the opposite way around. BLACKLIST want to play their own brand of the game, their own code, right? And we saw that in back-to-back games. They know how to operate, they know these heroes, the ins and outs of the Ube strategy that they're trying to employ against Echo, but it's just that Echo is just stopping them in their tracks. I think that the reason why BLACKLIST are losing back-to-back games is because they kept on playing the same game.
Here's the thing, right? In the background when we were talking and discussing about this draft, something about Echo that really stands out is the fact that, you know, they're not tunnel visioning anymore. They're not playing hyper defensively. They have playmaking capabilities.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at the item, right? Benny QT with 10,000 gold, closer to 11,000 gold, A11. In fact, everybody's KDA on the carry position, right? 5111 on Sanford, 508 on Sunji. All these carry positions are absolutely dominating. Now, I'm interested to find out the MVP later on once we get there, because I think even though we got so much farm, so much resource to Benny, it's actually Sanford who set up the play for the teammates.
Okay, now we're going to be jumping over to the post stats here, and I'm really interested to see the overall team fight participation. Edward averaging 100%, but the control from Echo. Like, imagine Edward being part of every single one of these fights and get Echo. Not one of them, not even 100%. They are dividing and conquering so well.
Yeah, you know, when you're talking about how Sanford was instrumental in this, the playmaking potential, right? Keep coming up from Gideon. Totally agree with you guys, because I think that Echo, their shot selection in this game, particularly in internal fights, was amazing, was on point. Sanford knows who to jump onto, even he chooses sometimes it's going to be wise. It depends on the situation, what the situation calls for, so that Echo will win those turtle fights. Then, when it comes to those crucial moments where there's like a 50-50 or even like the odds are in their favor, they utilize the spacing coming out from always Franco, and of course Galtis is Daytona's welcome to this place, BLACKLIST International, for them to not get into their bubble.
Absolutely, right? Sanford on the glue monster was insane. He has pinpoint accuracy. You're absolutely on point on that. He knows exactly which person to carry away, right? In objective, in turtle fights, and also in lore fights. Sometimes to get to the back line. I remember this one time when Benny Kuti flickered in for the ultimate for torn apart memory, get a double kill, and that was all set up by Sanford. He was literally one-way forwarding, taking all the damage, and staying alive.
Personally, I don't know what the communications coming from Echo is going to sound like, but I can't wait for them to drop it. But let's have
Pumipitik ang signal ng YouTube.
a look at the MVP of this year. QT domination, and more importantly, nobody escaped Hurricane.
And I think that it is now safe for me to say, all over the world, that he is now the holder of the gold standard. Gold lane standard. The way he positions himself is amazing to look at. That's textbook, right? If you want to learn how to utilize and position a marksman, do look at Benny Kuti's games because of how he's able to just win the matchups in the laning stage. Eventually team fights, this time with the flicker. And the ultimate was phenomenal.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out about Benny in this game, he put out the very characteristic and very special Echo style split push, right? The marksman split push in the late game. It's just when you think, okay, the Brody has to be in the team fight. I mean, it's a marksman, this most damage source, he got the most farm, he has to be here. The next thing you know, your base is gone. This guy has 45% kill participation only, and yet he's the win condition, right, for the team.
All right, let's sniff out a little bit of how Benny QT actually plays the way he does, how he positions himself with the heat map from 5 to 10 minutes here. He's supposed to be the clean cleanup crew for the rest of the squad. Walk me through this here.
Alright, so he started with a top laner, but at 5 minutes where the turtle is gonna respond, a second turtle in the game, he was there. Look at him, look at that push. Then this between the purple buff and the turtle. He stayed for a long time, then found an opening during the turtle fight, take out OM. That was a great play. Look back at that play. Afterwards though, he went to the XP lane. He knows that the golden is already done for. All they need to do is to get more influence in the other part of the map so that they can set up for the next turn.
I mean, so far this game has been looking super dominating here, and if we look at the MVP highlights overall,
look at that play.
When does BLACKLIST actually, try and come back if you were in their position?
Benny QT is like assassin marksman player.
Yeah.
He's always behind you on the side of you. Oh, this is a beautiful play by the entire side of Echo. You started off with a hook flicker from Yaoi, and then the beautiful ultimate from Faraz the Dinosaur. It just shut down the B-Vice combo, right, from the side of BLACKLIST. And take a look at the bottom side. This is where Sampler set up the play, and Benny QT flickered and finished off the kill, the executioner. I want to see the split push in the end. I think that highlight was just so good. How does this guy just quietly and sneakily go into your base and take everything?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with just the way he kind of positions himself, and more importantly so, Echo has a huge priority on where Haji is. They expect Wise to be in a certain position. They expect OHEM and Venus to be in another position, but more importantly so, they needed to ensure that the playmakers, Oh My Venus and as well as Haji, they need to know their position before they make a decision.
And BLACKLIST International kind of plays like you said, plays the same game. They're very good at it. I'm not saying that they're bad at it or that it is a mistake for them to keep on doing it because that's their winning formula. But it feels like in games number 1 and 2, Echo just read through that, knows the steps that they're going through, and then counted them every step of the way.
They broke the code.
There has to be a little bit of a curveball for BLACKLIST come game 3.
They broke the code, what can I say?
Wait, it's not over. Yeah, it's not over just yet. It's a best of 7, but let's see what Markar are up to.
It feels like in a land of down with all of the heroes and the players. Important player, we have Dlar and Marky. Halo Dlar, apa kabar?
Baik.
Baik. Coba dong disapa dulu pakai bahasa Indonesia dong. Indonesian words, Indonesian words.
Bisa dong, tapi masih sedikit.
Oh, he can do, but only a little bit. Okay, sample.
Ako udah makan tadi.
Oh, what does that mean? That means he have eaten. Okay, what can you say in Bahasa?
Ako makan nakdi.
Translate.
Translate in Tagalog.
Yeah.
Kumain na daw siya ng McDo.
Okay, did you guys expect it was gonna be a 2-0 for Echo? Did you expect that performance from them?
Sa akin, hindi kasi sa tingin ko, dikit lang yung mga laban dapat. Kasi alam ko yung BLACKLIST, laging handa yan.
Okay, he wasn't expecting it because the games are too close and he knows that BLACKLIST are always prepared. Dilar.
Sa akin naman in-expect na unang abante yung Echo. Kasi meron silang momentum, galing silang lower bracket eh.
Oh, you expected Echo to advance because he had the momentum because they're coming from the lower bracket? Okay, now, Dilar, you've been with V-Wise for 4 seasons, even before MPL, you're with them. If you can give us an inside scoop because you know V-Wise really well, how do you think they're reacting right now with 0-2? What's going through their mind? And usually, what do they say and do when they're backstage?
Tingin ko dito nagagana si Venus eh. Kasi sobrang galing niya sa gantong parte. Kung paano mag-adjust, tapos pag lumamang yung kalaban, alam niya kung paano papaligtarin yung laban.
He thinks this is Venus' strength. This is what he's really good at. When they're down, he knows how to flip it around. And you said against their opponent. So what's gonna do? What are they gonna do for the next match? For the next game? Marky, what should they do? Marky! Bigatron!
Sa tingin ko, lalabas na nila yung mga tinatago nilang bala eh.
Oh.
Marami pa silang papakita dyan.
He knows that they're gonna be showing a lot and they're gonna take out their hidden bullets, their hidden cards, their hidden ace. How hard is it? You know this? As a player, how hard is it to bounce back from a 0-2? How difficult?
Tingin ko depende talaga sa mentality ng player. Kung gaano sila kalakas mentally, ganun.
kapag ganito yung laban, especially pag best of 7.
It depends on the mentality of the players, how they're prepared mentally, especially in a best of 7. But do you have any prediction for this match, this grand final match, Marky and Lar? Prediction?
Kuha, still blacklist.
Blacklist? Score? Here first, okay? Okay? Dilar, get everybody to cheer for Blacklist. Let's go. Oh, Blacklist, hashtag, break the code. Okay, who are you?
Echo proud. Pinas lang malakas, let's go.
Echo loud, Echo proud. Pinas lang malakas. Let's go. Let's go, casters.
Here from our M3 Grand Finalists now playing for Indonesian teams Marky and Dilar. Before we talk about how we're going to set up for Game 3, how possibly Blacklist could start making their comeback, I'd like to tell you all about Gank. Never got a style when you wear in game with Gank, a lifestyle fashion brand made for the modern gamer and is the M4 World Championship official merchandise partner. Grab the M4 merchandise at www.gank.asia today. Mirko, it's odd to see our defending champions be put up against the wall like this.
It's strange, very strange, right? Because they even met in the upper brackets, right? Blacklist and Echo, when they met, Echo were able to take game number 1, but then game number 2, you saw that Blacklist was able to fight back. Here, you can see that Echo, we mentioned this earlier on as well, they have learned and they have progressed through the lower brackets, now 2-0 up against Blacklist International, who are still, playing the same way that they did in the upper brackets.
Now here is, this is where me as an analyst, I'm gonna give my opinions, because as we're looking at the Hero Pick recap, I'm actually going to talk about how they're playing the map, because in the game, in Mobile Legends Bang Bang, it's about a game of trades. What do you want to trade for something else? Do you trade kills for objectives? Do you trade objectives for kills? Do you trade your buff in order to get your opponent's buff? And the way that Echo has been setting things up, they're setting up by focusing on one lane, getting a lot of resources there, and setting up a potential backdoor for Benny Cutie. So every single turret that they get is they're setting for a checkmate. So what Blacklist have to do is actually put the aggression on to Echo. Either, if they do want to scale up, make sure they have the composition that can allow them to protect their own turrets, because I kind of feel like giving the first tier and second tier turret on either side lane is very dangerous going up against Echo. So either increase the tempo of your own play to make sure that Echo cannot push, or just make sure that they draft something that can allow them to actually protect the turrets, because this is the name of the game. Protect your house, protect the turrets.
They tried that a bit, right? I mean, they went for the Beatrix, pretty good high ground with the Bennett. They went for the Valentina to try to steal the IMU because, again, the Eve was banned out. But what I personally want to talk about is the damage allocation, right? The targeting, because if you saw the hero recap earlier, in terms of damage, Blacklist were doing more. Blacklist were doing more damage consistently as well, with the Beatrix, the Joy, and the Valentina. How was Echo able to win that? It's the allocation of that damage, right? It was always placed to the enemy backline, which is Blacklist. Blacklist's backline is always the target of Benny, of Sanji, and as well as Sanford on the glue, who did more damage than Benny. So that just makes it super impressive how Benny was able to get the MVP, get the most kills in the game, but dealing the third most damage.
I mean, you gotta put into consideration, just like you said, damage allocation, because if you do a lot of damage, but you do a lot of damage to a person that has very low HP, you're not gonna look like you're doing a lot of damage compared to someone who's just attacking someone that just doesn't die, they just keep on regening.
And that's exactly the job that Sanford has most games, right? Cut into the back line, make that backline scramble, and then have Benny Cutie or Sanji ruin whatever is left of that. And with that being said, it's just moments away for us going into game number 3. And we'll see exactly how far Echo wants to take this momentum and how they're going to use that. And We'll see exactly how Oh My Venus shot calling and leadership is going to come into a moment like this for their team, wherein their backs are against the wall. It's not quite match point just yet, but this is dire straits. Agents all around the world, I know for sure, even here in Tennis and Sinayan, are feeling the pressure.
Definitely, right? As the defending champion, making it all the way here to a back-to-back grand final. There's a lot of pressure on their shoulders already. On top of that, Echo, the young blood, Sanji Sanford, 16-17. They want that title. They're hungry for it.
And it's right here, center stage, seconds away from the draft. We're going into game number 3. Coaches and analysts have major decisions to make. What are we opening up for trade? It's Echo now on the play, blue side, banning out the Diggy, the Estes, and the Glue, while Blacklist take out the Cho, the 1-1 in the Eve.
I just want to say one thing. Echo, they're showing full respect. The Blacklist International, their first pick, they're banning out the Estes as well as the Diggy, because if they can always make sure that they're getting Oheb as well as Haji, the only way that they can be saved is having a little bit more HP. So getting that out of the way, I really feel like Echo has broken the code. As long as they can sustain long in the fight, then it's GG, because Wise can be in front all he wants. We really don't care. Oheb and Haji is not there, we're gonna win. But sacrificing the Frederick, they're getting the Frederick for themselves and letting go of the carry. How do you feel about this?
I feel like it's a risk that Coach Trev and Nick are willing to take, and now even the far side is out of Sanji's hands. But they have a response just as quickly. This is Echo showing preparedness, showing momentum, showing courage.
And showing they know what Blacklist is going to go for.
Yeah, just like how Blacklist, Oh My Venus specifically, is ready for that Estes ban, Echo seems to have a play out of their playbook as well.
There's so much to play with now if you're Echo, right? It's insane. Frederick first pick, the carry was responded with. That was a good pick by them. But then, hey, Echo banned the Estes and the Diggy. Usually you'd see the carry, the Kaja here. Kaja was open. They also answered that backline threat that Blacklist have with their own here in the Lapu Lapu. They can dive. This is such a good composition already for them, and you can see what they want to ban next. It's Barats. Every single time, they understand who to ban for. In game number 1, it was Venus who was targeted. Game number 2, you can see a mix. Now, they notice, hey, we picked up a hero for Wise, and he hasn't picked up a hero in the first phase. It's time to really go down and ban him out.
How do you feel about this Coach Lavelle? Wise, who's confident in winning the M4 World Championship again, because he's the only one who didn't use any assassins. He has 1,000 confidence, but how is that going to come into play here? Because that's a lot of non-assassins being banned out, specifically the Barat, and then his Frederick's taken away from him as well.
I think what he's really trying to convey is that I don't bend towards the meta bend towards me. That's why he's really confident, because people can tell him all day that, oh, the Ling is good, Hayabusa is broken and everything like that. It is like, sure, but my name is Wise. I choose what I want to play. Now, looking at Barats and Akai getting banned, what is he going to play? But I will say, I'm not actually looking at Wise to really change the game. If he does, then that's great. I'm actually looking at Edward, because I kind of feel like Edward is the key. Going up against this kind of draft, seeing the Kaja, seeing the Lapu Lapu, seeing the Frederick, he should be the space maker and the initiator for Blacklist International to make sure that Oheb and Oh My Venus have optimal way to actually go into a fight.
The thing is, Blacklist International, they've tried that, right? They gave Benedetta a playmaking hero to Edward. In the second game, they gave him Glue to buy a little more time. Plays a distract. Oh no, sorry, Joy, my bad. Distract, right? But it didn't work both times. Now, what's open for him is that Benedetta, right? Wise is going to pick up that box share first. I was actually thinking the Valentina in the jungle. We haven't seen it in a long time. But with the Kanja having that Divine Judgment, it's a good Bolton take. Benny still wants to play that Brody, knows that up against the carry, he actually has a bigger advantage here compared to last game in terms of just laning.
If anything, since the Valentina is not banned, might go into the hands of Echo, but it looks like Coach Treb and Coach Tic-Tac are reading into it. I think they're afraid that Bonchan and Massive Invasions are ready for it. Because again, it's wide open, right? But you need a good level of burst to make Echo's lineup work.
I think the better option here would be the Lilia, right? You get a bit more sustainability. You already have such a good composition to dive in, but it does seem like they... Whoa! No, not the Bounty, not the Lilia. They want to go in.
Dude, it's like, let's get this game as quickly as
They
possible.
want to go in.
Dude, I'm loving this. Okay, so Edward picks up the Yuzong, and again, this is what I want to see because he has to be the one to dictate the fight. He has to go in, but man, oh man, the burst, Gaja picks up anyone. You got the Gushin, you got the Brody. Okay, here's the thing. I love the draft. Works or not, I love the draft.
Yeah, this is a throwback to about 2 or 3 months ago when MPL Philippines, MYID were in Season 10. Cushion was a hot pick. Cushion went through a career renaissance, was picked right out of ranked games into the pro scene, and here it looks like Echo are going for match point with it. Will they be able to do that? Blacklist have a solid lineup as well. Signature picks all across. What's this Yuzhong going to do in the hands of Agent Zero? Is that enough of a instrument, of a tool to draw a line straight into the backline? Because what's the backline even for Echo? It's just Benny.
Dude, honestly, I kind of feel like it is enough because just make sure everyone is close enough together because you're just trying to distract. You're letting everyone else do the damage.
We'll see how fast Echo can go and how Blacklist answers back. This is Game 3. This is for the M4 World Championships.
This is the first Gushin pick in M4 too, right? Fun fact. Hey, right during the break, when it was the Atlas segment, me and Leo, we were talking about it. We were like, hey, Echo in Game 3, they got a 2-0 lead. What are they supposed to do? Don't experiment too much in the draft. But here they are, experimenting in the draft again. In the world, at the world stage. But dude, this is insane. It's Gushin's debut.
I fully trust Coach Trev and Coach Tic-Tac and Echo, all right? They're putting on a show for us.
No, I mean, like, it's an experiment in our eyes.
Yes.
They probably trained this for quite a while because, again, looking at Blacklist, look at what happened in game number 1. Look at what happened in game number 2. They kind of just forget about Wise. They forget about Oh My Venus, and in a sense, they forget about Edward as well. As long as you get Oheb and Haji, it's all right. You probably don't even mind if Sanji dies if you can get Haji as well as Oheb. So this is fine. And again, looking at Edward, I'm still looking at him to kind of carry because what he has to do is to start a fight, collect everyone together. That's it.
And they're going to be able to do that, but at the midway point, because again, you're also waiting for Oheb. You're waiting for this carry to hit a power spike, because it's a tough way playing a carry in Go Brody.
It's very tough. The laning here, the matchup is not good for carry at all, right? You're going to be zoned away from your mini waves constantly. You need your Lolita or your Roamer, your jungler to hand. This is where Echo have been utilizing Benny QT's stellar M4 performance. They're always playing around the gold lane, but now it's a turtle.
Oh, and also the XP lane. Look at this. Sanford and Sanji pressuring Haji and Edward. Lower, turtle very low.
Nice
Steals it
one.
away from Blacklist International like it's nothing. Just walks up like a Chad and uses retribution.
I just gotta say, because we didn't really see, because we're looking at the turtle, I want to talk about the micromanagement of the wave, because Sanji sacrificed his own wave, and look at his Yaoi Gracious.
Fine charge, but the butterfly from Sanji. Down to the down blast, gonna be popped in here, but Yaoi's gonna be able to get away from that one. Not for long as Wise is able to find the kill back. A Roamer traded in for the mid laner. Still, Echo takes the trade.
Lafili, we're saying.
No, I was just saying because during that fight, Yaoi didn't even dare to go close to the turtle because he was already at level 3. Sanji, with the cushion, went to the EXP lane, absorbed some of that minions, while Yaoi secured the entire minion wave in mid, allowed him to get level 4. And we just saw the engagement there, but I want to talk about how Carrie's having a difficult time. It's going to be more difficult now that Yaoi already has the Divine Judgment, so Oheb, he had a bad time before, it's going to get worse.
Oh, and that's why I think King Wise and Queen V are going ahead alongside Haji. So again, they're leaving Agent Zero here to make the best of this dead lane against Sanford's Lapu Lapu were about 30 seconds and a quarter away from a turtle. Once more, Echo got that handily. There's a lot of burst coming in from the Orcas, giving them a 300, 400 gold lead. And
that's Divine Judgment, and that's all the damage placed on. Benny not going to use the torn apart memory just yet. That was a flicker burned in by Venus, and that's a W that Echo wants to take, those small dubs.
Yeah, and again, as we said, you're already setting up your own playstyle. Get the level 4 as quickly as possible. Sure, it was slightly delayed because they went for something at mid, but now you can see they're putting a lot of pressure onto Blacklist International. This is what they've been doing. They're making sure that Blacklist can't stay long in their own lanes. They can't stay long in front of the turrets because they're setting things up. Yawi is still here. Even if he doesn't go in, just the mindset of I could get engaged is very terrifying.
Oh, Black Dragon form already.
Break it out. It's on to Carl Teasy now. And as you can see, Carl Teasy is going to be targeted down with a lot of damage. That's going to be the reason Brad to buy a little bit more time, but he will be slain. Sanji finding Venus. Haji going to be the target right now. Sanji jumps into the petrified as well. That's a double kill for the Fusion. And N4. Sanford knocks down on the Fury side. Yeah, we going to be able to dodge away right there. Edward. But Edward's going to be targeted down now. Sanji looking for a triple kill. Unofficial, but still a triple kill for the Gusion that's making its debut on the world stage in the grand finals.
And this propels Echo about 1,000 gold ahead, and it's just back to business. Carl Teasy making quick work on this turtle.
Honestly, in that team fight as well, Oh My Venus had a very good shot of using the Numinum Blast, but then gets cancelled by Yawi, pulling him to the side, saying, no, my team can handle this up. Oh My Venus engages on Yawi, and Yawi escapes that. Using the flicker, but again, it's all right, because Echo, they're in control. Even in the team fight, they're micromanaging everyone's skills, everyone's ults, to make sure that they don't get punished, to making sure that the Orcas are always going to be the one getting those kills.
And because of that pressure in the bottom lane and the relative absence of Blacklist from those responses in the bottom after the turtle take,
Huli ka, Haji.
Haji can be subbed up. After that airstrike, Sanji can take it low, take it down, shut down by Haji. But Haji falls as well.
Puta, lupit ka sa akin na. Grabe naman yun.
He knows exactly what he was doing. He finds two on the board. Not even the observers can believe it.
It's Owen Ham up top for the House of Highlights, and Sanford just as quickly rotates down bottom. Why is that up there? They're still going.
Torn apart memory, slays Wise as they pick up the tier 1 in the gold lane. 3,000 gold lead.
Conversion through the roof for Echo here. They're taking trades. They're taking bodies, taking turrets. Now 30 seconds away from the turret. Where does Blacklist find an angle for a comeback?
Okay, now we're looking on My Venus is going to get punished.
Now you see, now you're told 2 members disappearing from out of nowhere. Oh, heavy on the damage on the Sanford, still going to be able to get away for a bit. Shut down, picked up. Blacklist International strike back.
So what I saw just now, and I kind of think of the same thing, Blacklist, they got to stay inside the jungle of Echo because they need to apply pressure and they need vision. Now they don't have both because again, we talked about it before the game even starts, how Echo is playing. They're pushing one lane, trying to get 2 turrets, and then before that Oheb gets caught.
Oh, here Carl Teasy going to be able to find that Oheb falling in the gold lane. Carl Teasy backing off. Edward still wants to commit with a Petrify and the Furious Dive. Now Sanford at the back line, getting stunned down, but not going to be able to find it just yet. Haji with the wings by, waits the flicker out. Benny going to be caught here, stunned up and taken down. Sanford jumping in again. Why still? Sanking, soaking all the damage in. Comes in out of nowhere. Coming in again onto Venus. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Why still able to get out for a bit with a shield unity, and he gets to safety. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Blacklist.
Alright, so there's a clapback. Blacklist, given that Echo had to split up their priorities. Turtle says Carl Teasy, no, fight. They say, and they're still going. Sanford
Trying to melt him down, but it's not going to be enough as he is actually able to get the damage out. Heaven now, going to be targeted down so low. He flickered out of there, but he's still going to be calling down when he finds the Divine Judgment. No commitment just yet. Echo decides to pull back.
All right, touche. We pull a 3Ds for now. 8 minutes in. 3K ahead, Echo. What's the item game looking like?
The item game is just showing Sanford. He only has the Bloodless Axe as a damage item and the Dominance Eyes just for armor. But again, looking at that, Sanford really should have died. But because Dominance Eyes now lowers the attack speed of your opponent, so Oheb doesn't have maximum attack speed at that point, and he just out-heals Oheb.
Oh man, you can see the carry is just so behind. Corrosion Staff, Golden Staff, he needs that with an nature, but he also needs an Athena at this point, right? There's so much damage output that Echo can deal, and Blacklist are just not ready for that kind of dive.
Yep, it looks like Echo evolved their strategy from game 2, when it's not the amount of damage you have, it's where you put it, given the skill shots that Echo have to get in to be able to get these kills. Now 13 to 6. It just shows that they are playing off of momentum.
Memory flicker out by Benny QT is wise. Re-engage with Edward as well. That's a ton coming in. And he's still able to escape. To mention Fire Fury is not connecting on Benny QT. And Joey jumps in. And he's still
highlights, and it's just Olympia's left. It's as real Lord as it gets for Echo. Barreling on forward, 5K ahead. The bell. How was Blacklist coming?
Blacklist did everything right. That was not a mistake. Like, they managed to get Benny Cutie. Benny Cutie dashes away. He still got caught. And Blacklist, they still lost. Yawi was able to pull Edward away. Like, again, it's not that Blacklist. They did the engage round. They did everything right. And it still wasn't enough. That's very discouraging.
This breaks the whole concept of the metagame that is box-centric, and it's all about geometry, because Echo aren't playing with any clear lines here. They're playing from a point-to-point basis, right? Yawi point and click, Sanji point and click, Benny point and click. Conti is the only one really setting up where Echo can fight, and they always find the right places.
I honestly don't understand how Sanji keeps getting the hits as well. But right now, Blacklist fights back.
They find a kill onto the jungler. Carl T is gonna fall. Yawi looking for a re-engage as the Lord marches down the bottom lane. Sanji picking up the tier 2 in the mid lane. Blacklist International micromanaging the waves properly, getting it down. Still, 7,000 gold lead for Echo. Wise opening up the map. Gets the shield down, but will be covered by Judgment. Venus coming in, helping his jungler. Now is Benny QT is gonna be able to get the back line, Sanford as well. The San duo on the back line. Wise gonna be targeted down. Sanji not able to connect just yet. You held your breath there. Edward now running away. Yawi still dishing the damage out of Sanford. Comes in again with the follow-up to finish him off.
That sword spike was about an inch away from Wise. If Sanji had it hit, would have been over for King Wise. But that doesn't change the fact that this Lord, Luminous Lord, coming up in about a minute and change. Should be lethal. Only Venus drops, and the blast is still going.
That's gonna be Feather Airstrike onto Yawi. Still gonna be able to get out. The Venus shield popped in with immortality as well. The memory will be thrown out. Sanford falling into the hands of Oheb as he is able to find that kill. But it's just a 1-for-1. Echo decides to back off. Base turret still up, except that top side.
So in the defense, Blacklist had their priorities split up, take down members of Echo, clear the waves. Something's gotta give. That's an inhibitor up top. That's permanent damage.
Yeah, right now, Echo, they've already set up their checkmate because the Lord is going to come up. That is going to be something that Blacklist have to contest. Now the question is, can they even contest it?
And LaFell, to add to that, it's in the long lane. It's in the opposite lane that Lord is in. It's very clear, it's inevitable that Benny's gonna try to do the same thing.
I mean, we talked about this. This is how they play. They set up the map to their own favor to make sure they have multiple ways to actually win the game. They can win through a team fight. They can win through getting Oheb, through getting Haji, or just going straight, beeline to the king, dropping down the base itself. So this is beautiful coming in from Echo. It's more or less the same thing, but executed in a different way.
They're playing with inevitability. Echo have have played to a brilliant situation right now. They're 7K ahead. They're making easy work of this Lord, and Wise checking in. V pulls the conceal.
They've committed a lot of resources here. That's it without Blast, not finding anyone. Yaoi looking for the Divine Judgment, able to find Wise as they try to burst down the Lord. Lord gonna be secured right now. That's going to be destroyed by Sanji. To buy a little more time again. With the finger again, a final door for victory. Yaoi's looking for more. That's the defensive fire. First dive used up. Sanford jumping in with Bravest Fighter. Oh my God! Sanford!
That's 4 for 1. Lord as well going over to Echo. They're going to push bottom lane, and they are going to thread the game end. They catch a web. Again, under the base. Very low. It's match point for Echo. The world champions have never been pushed to the limit, not like this. Echo Express are pummeling on through. They are at match point.
Here's the thing, man.
What are we watching?
We're watching history. Defending champions. Will they be able to defend? Because again, it's not like reverse sweep doesn't happen. It does happen. Even though Echo, it looks like they're very impressive. It's not game over because again, we've seen time and time again. In fact, M1 reverse sweep happened. It can still happen here, but I gotta say, as an analyst, I'm watching the game 1, game 2, game 3. They're more or less the same. Go to one lane, grab 2 turrets, set up the checkmate. In all 3 games, Echo is able to set up the checkmate.
Just honestly, what was that? Every member, I know we said this, we've been saying this, but seeing it in the grand finals, where all 5 members are in form, where all 5 members know exactly what to do at every given minute, it is a sight to behold. Echo already putting their foot down here. Match point against the defending M3 champions.
It is team fight excellence. They know how to re-engage, they know how to find the right targets, and say what you will about experimentation and how it may have resulted for them in the knockout stage. But now, with the debut in Gushan, Echo puts BLACKLIST International at match point. They threaten taking home the M4 trophy, and I am here for it.
Dude. Sanford and Lapu very cute with this Brody. They've been saving it.
Every play was a TikTok play. And with that, we'd like to remind everybody of the TikTok Live Carnival. Cheer up for M4 and watch the matches on TikTok. Participate in Cheer Up for M4 activities by watching M4 matches on TikTok and using M4 exclusive customized gifts to cheer up for the teams. There will be a chance to be on TV too and win abundant gifts. Take a sneak peek at M4 events and be the first to receive info all about these rewards that you can get. The M4 Pass will be available on the 20th of December with exclusive rewards such as the Beatrix Light Chaser skin, the Beatrix Stellar Brilliant skin, and the M4 Beatrix figurine. Emotes, sacred statues, spawn effects, recall effects, and avatar borders and trail effects await you. You can get all the special skin as well, the War Lion, for free by completing tasks too. Starting the 24th of December, the M4 support chest will be available in-game. Open it to get loads of M4 Pass EXP and stand a chance to receive a mysterious gift. On the day of the M4 Grand Finals, that's the day, the 15th of January, expect to get an avatar board for free. In the M4 Battle Night event, that's on the 21st, unlock a skin chest by completing tasks and pick a skin of your choice within the chest. Use the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBB M4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great when talking about it on social media. Speaking of which, Saltman should be going wild right now. Echo at 3-0? Echo at 3-0?
Yo, you know what? The chat, everyone watching, let's talk about Sanford. Sanji and Minikitty, that was amazing.
Make them trend. Folks, we'd love to talk forever about it, but we need to throw it over to our analysts to break it down further.
Thank you, casters. Breaking news. A revolution is about to begin. A new generation of Filipino Mobile Legends is here today. And we're here to break it down for you step by step. My name's Kitty Q. This is going to be Assassin Dave with Wolf here on the stand. Gushin boys, the hot topic of this match. Walk me through this.
Sanji Gaming. And also Sanford Gaming, but Sanji Gaming, right? That was San Gaming. I mean, like, what else? Can you describe it?
Oh man, it's very difficult to really not talk about both Sanji and Sanford. The fact that they are the youngest players, at least in this grand final, and they're really looking like they're the boss. Sanford was amazing, and the casters were really talking so much about it. We were talking about it during when we were watching the game. Sanford was on point, on the mark, and even Sanji with his cushion play, he outstyled BLACKLIST International in game number 3.
The young fingers. That's all I can say. Way too good.
Way too good.
Really way too good overall. I mean, I have to give it to Sanford here. I really hope he gets an MVP, or even Sachi. Both of them absolutely deserve it. But what could BLACKLIST could have done in this particular situation?
Well, they really wanted to go for the burst down with all of their magic damage, right? Even when you think about the Baxia, you want to make sure that Echo will not be able to sustain. However, they kind of lost the integrity of their Lord fight. Whereas for Echo, you can see with Carl TZ and the Frederick, the ultimate, use it together with the Retribution. Turtle 1 belongs to Echo. Eventually, they itemized properly with double Athena shield on both Carl TZ and Yaoi, making it so that BLACKLIST International had severe lack of damage.
I mean, severe lack of damage is an understatement overall. I feel like the preparation coming in from Echo is beyond. They know every move coming out from BLACKLIST. They knew that Haji was going to come in late. They knew how they wanted to move across the map. They're pathing of all things.
And also, take a look at the damage dealt, right? 214,000 compared to 160k. The whole game, you can see Echo was just more open to do damage, right? We're in the backseat talking about, okay, what can be the mid-lane pick? Maybe it's Valentina was still open. You got so many great ult you can copy, right? The Farsa ult, Lolita ult. There's so many good ult. But they decided to go with the burst. They have the Kaja, played by Yaoi. And the Echo's playing really decisive and aggressive today, right? That's shown from the damage. That's shown from the damage participation from Sunny. 74% kill participation. Yaoi and the entire Echo, they're just popping out today. I mean, like, this is match point now for BLACKLIST. For Echo and BLACKLIST, they really have to step it up.
You know, I think that Echo really prepared for this because when they went up against RRQ yesterday during the finals, the lower bracket finals, they went for the macro economics, and they took the map. This time, we're so aggressive. The Echo connection was really strong today.
More like the Echo location coming up from the Yorkapod. Sanford, our MVP of this game. I don't think anybody has any doubts overall. And honestly, with the performance coming in from Sanford alone throughout this series so far, I am getting M1 vibes when Luminaire was nominated to be the MVP.
Yeah, Gideon was yelling, like, when we were backstage, just like standing, jumping up, sees, looking at Sanford, the play from Sanford. This guy is mechanic god, and on top of the fact, he also a macro god, right? He was rotating from bottom lane to top lane without losing the bottom tier 1 tower, finding the flank, finding double kill onto the back line BLACKLIST. Oh my goodness, what a play. Let's take a look off the heat map from 5 to 10 minutes off this player.
Oh, I can really fairly remember what he did into the top lane, but it was literally over the map, right? At least on the side of Echo, they dominated. Now, I want to say, you did say M1 vibes, right? For me, it was M2 vibes. Remember when Ruby Didi made that iconic play where everybody will remember that? Ruby Didi asked the Ruby Didi play. Absolutely. I think we're going to see the Sanford play. Utilize the Bravest Finder to the flicker with a very off angle. Onto the top lane, under the turret, catching 2 members of BLACKLIST International. He did the Sanford, bro.
Dude, he's literally got a font after him at this point. Nobody knows what the font is exactly, but he knows he made a name staple of the word. Well done to Sanford. Overall, an absolute monster, and the just spatial awareness and the shadowing that he can perceive. In these games, what a boss.
Yes, who else but Sanford pull off a Sanford play here? Let's take a look at the first hurdle. You can see Sanji and Sanford onto the back line. The Goosh, the Sunset combo, right? And this is where a lot Lapu with the bravest fighter into the flicker onto the back line here. Yeah, look at this!
Oh! So beautifully done. You knew the angle you first saw it. This man looks into the future.
Look in the future, and look at Sanji at the same time assassinating the back line along with the help of Sanford. Even though he eventually fall right here, but at what cost? Every time for Blacklist, this is a heavy toll if you try to target Sanford. And over here, I don't think even Lapu died. The amount of determination Echo has on diving, on doing the damage, not being afraid, not holding back, is insane in this game.
This was the Echo Trojan horse play where they tried to take out one of the members of Blacklist and then they baited him out. Eventually just running down the members of Blacklist International. Again into the front lines, you can see Sanford, but my oh my, man, beauty. Oh my goodness, everybody's just doing well. Actually, from the side of Echo.
Oh, so brutal, so beautiful. The highest class of Mobile Legends we have ever seen. I cannot believe we get to witness this. We are just mere mortals watching gods battle it out here in Jakarta.
Isn't every M series is making a brand new star, right? And this M series seems like Sanford's in the making right now, right? Off that, where every single strike he's taken, every single move he's building is a strike towards that FMVP.
It truly is. But match point for Echo right now. For us here at the stand, we're going to be signing off. Casters, take it away.
Away we shall take it. Welcome back. We're setting up for game 4. Echo have pushed the defending champions into match point. At your service, as always, my name is Leo, joined here by Mirko and Lafell. And it's fair to say that we can't stop singing the praises for Echo, but now we have to consider what exactly does Blacklist International have to do to bounce back.
Before I even say that, I just want to protect my good friend, Assassin Dave. When he said the F MVP, he meant the finals MVP.
Yes.
Context is important, ladies and gentlemen. Context.
All right, back to the topic, right? Blacklist, how do they come back from this? They got to start from the drafts, right? Because the drafts here, I believe, have been good. They have been responding. But with the Forza in the first phase, I understand why it's prio. But you got to understand that the Lapu of Sanford, or even this, the Yuzong, the Benedetta, anything that can die within the back line, that Sanford still has to play with. You need to respect that, right? And I think right now, with the Diggy and the Estes band down, they need to respect that more than ever.
Forgive me for saying, but I kind of feel like it's not about the draft anymore, because I think just the bands itself is already pretty great. But the thing is, looking at how Echo has been playing, it's not that they've been playing the exact same heroes over and over again. They change, but the way they execute it is roughly the same, because even in game number 3, like I said, Yaoi getting level 4, and then where do they pressure? Oheb, Haji, Haji, don't let these two play, and then you win the game, because you don't have to change too much of how you approach the game. You just adapt to it. It's like, okay, whatever you guys pick, we'll still be able to do what we did in game number 1, 2, and 3.
And if you're looking at game 3, you're talking about impact heroes and players. You're seeing Sanford clearly, right? Our MVP for game 3. But for Blacklist, it was wise. He was trying to do too much. He was trying to help set up ganks. He was looking at objectives, vision for his team, peeling, and again, where do you place yourself when you're getting pressured by one such Sanford? And even Sanju debuted the Gusha. That's a lot of burst.
I don't know how to answer that question, right?
There is no answer.
There is no answer. It's so tough, man. I believe, again, we mentioned it in game, the execution, how they were playing. They did the best they could. It was literally the best case scenario for them in terms of how they were rotating, how they were looking for fights, how they were prioritizing targets too. They went into Many, who was overextending, who was overcommitting, but he survived it.
If I'm allowed to say so, this might sound like heresy, but the way Echo is playing now, so far in these 3 games, again, you mentioned it's not like they're trying out too crazy things or introducing too many elements into their draft. It's like they're the new Blacklist. They just need to change a few things and then approach it the same way, but instead of the whole calculated and slow-paced and very deliberate way of taking games, dominating, the difference is Echo is explosive.
In my personal opinion, or my personal view, is just that make the game simple. Trust your players' mechanics because that's what's been going on. Getting 2 turrets. Who do you catch? Oheb and Haji. Don't think about anyone else. Trust your instincts. Trust your mechanics because being on the world stage, you have so many things to think about. You're thinking about the hundreds of thousands of people watching you play. The crowd here roaring. The players are hearing it all. We casters are talking about their game. You have to be able to shut everything quietly, simplify it, and then just play your game.
And we'll see if that will be enough for Blacklist International to dent Echo's record, because so far Echo have been flawless. They have executed everything perfectly, including the draft. We're about to go into game number 4. Major decisions are about to be made here. It's Blacklist on the play. Echo answering back. There goes the Cho, there goes the Kaja. Echo bans out the 1-1 and the Estes.
Man, last game, game number 3. In the draft, Blacklist International were able to secure 2nd pick. That was the most, well, that side is the most success they found in M4. 72% win rate on the red side as the 2nd pick. Echo just shattered that, and now they're taking back the 2nd pick away from Blacklist International. We're forced, again, to their 1st pick. It's not a bad win rate for them. It's still like 60%. But Echo, this is where they shine in the 1st pick, and in the 2nd pick here, we're going to see Blacklist securing the Eve. Echo, what do they respond with? They respond with Blue and Fredrin. Deja vu.
Yeah, right now, whatever Blacklist brings out, this has to be their absolute best draft because right now Echo is feeling pretty good, but for Blacklist, this is a best of 1. And Echo continues the trend, not allowing the Queen to use the Estes. They managed to get the Diggy, but if you see a Diggy, what do? You have to kill the Diggy over and over and over and over again. So now, I kind of feel like Echo, they completely expected this. So even though right now Blacklist, it seems like they're getting their heroes, I have this feeling in the back of my head, Echo is actually drafting for Blacklist.
Yeah, I agree with you. Given how fast they're responding, given how in a split second, Fredrin glue. But this time around, it seems like they're more deliberate. They have to consider. But just as quickly, all right, here's the Hilda. Last time we saw the Hilda played by Echo wasn't so good. What might make the difference here, Mirko?
Well, I think what makes the difference here, or what can make the difference here, is Echo betting on the gold laners, right? They've already gone the 1-1 and the carry out. This is their opportunity. They have the 1st pick in the 2nd phase. This is the time to ban out the gold lane, but instead they are still going, respecting Edward. So I think right now they're thinking, hey, we've gotten rid of the 1-1 and the carry. These two pose the most threat towards our composition. Might as well set up for Benny, right? Give him more room to play by banning out the backline threat. People who can dive, like the Lapu, maybe even the Yuzong next.
Yeah, looking at Lapu getting banned, this does show that Echo perhaps they want to go for the Brody again because not a lot of mobility, so perhaps could be punished by, like you said, like a Lapu, like a Yuzong. And the fact that they're picking up the Hilda, the only thing that I can think about, because usually you pick the Hilda to fight against assassins, but you can also fight against a lane going up with the Diggy because, sure, usually people take supports, healing supports, kind of like a Rafaela just to top yourself off, but you're still giving free stats over the Diggy. With a Hilda, you could dive early. So you're kind of like countering the Diggy by just putting a lot of pressure. If you want to throw bombs, I'm going to drop my hammer, my axe onto you.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a bird liking an axe to the head.
I've never seen anyone. Yeah, most living things don't like axes to their head. Real quick, still doesn't have a hero here for himself in the draft. Let's talk about Benny Cutie. For me, the thing I changed the most is my mindset. It was like I was holding back. Maybe because I'm scared other people will blame me, but this M-Series, it's like I'm all out no matter what happens. That's it. So that's what is just powering Benny Cutie here in the M-Series at the grand final stage is he doesn't care about what the others think anymore. It's just for him and for his team.
As a veteran, he's got nothing to lose now, right? He is in the biggest stage. They pick up the Lunox. And this is such a brilliant Lunox pick because it's a flex pick.
Yeah, it's so flexible.
Save the mid lane and the gold lane is the last pick, and now you really see it, right? The Barats was picked up, the Lunox was left open, they went for the Harith. And this flex pick is going to cause havoc for Blacklist International.
I'm going to call it out. Echo, the moment they win the jungle fight, I'm going to say it's over because they can establish jungle control with the Frederick, with the Blue, with the Hilda, and then the damage is there. They already have the Lunox. With this kind of draft, you can spiral out of control. You can build a hurricane, and it's a hurricane that's very difficult to stop.
Yep, this is very similar to what they did already in this series alone. So the answer from Blacklist International seems to be the Beatrix and the Benedetta. Some classic picks from Blacklist International here. And I was wondering, how are they going to solve the range difficulty and difference between the Eve and whatever mid laner is going to be here for Echo? And here's how they do it with Sanji's Savior.
It's not enough that you have very tanky front lines. Now you got a Mystic Field to think about. Exactly. Blacklist, they want to clump up together. They're going to get punished if they do. And like I said, this just further solidifies. If you're going to fight around in the jungle is very tight spaces. There's not many places that you can maneuver around the Mystic Field. All they got to do right now for Echo, rush to... Just take 2 turrets in any lane and then establish jungle control. This is a very scary draft.
The Savior is one of the heroes that forces the time journey out the best. The Mystic Fields, getting 2 or 3 or even just 1 Prio member will force that time journey to come out, and the damage as well from the Hilda early on. That's what they want to do.
It's low cost efficiency at the pain of your opponent's lineup. Will Blacklist bounce back? This is the last chance. Echo are forcing them into match point. Game number 4 in this best of 7 for the World Championship.
Right now, Echo, they're super dominant. Who would have thought that the grand finals of M4 will be looking like this? Echo and Blacklist International. I'm looking at Yawi, I'm looking at this Hilda. It looks like Yawi will just chase absolutely anyone who wants to pressure Haji. And again, remember the game plan. Don't diverge too far. Haji, Oheb, don't let them be free. That's all you gotta do.
And guess what? Winning lane for Sanford too. Edward gonna have a tough time in the mid lane. Haji should be able to win this out in a 1v1, but that's never the case. With the Hilda roaming across the map, the Mystic Field is doing work already.
Yep, and it's not like there's much of a punish from Blacklist, not quite yet. So we're waiting for them to hit that power spike, put items on Oheb, maybe have Edward win 1v1 or at least a pickoff before the last turtle spawns. And it's that weird timing that Blacklist have to play around as Echo makes their presence known up top before making for turtle 30 seconds from now.
The situation again, Yawi, non-diverging, just go to the mid, go to the gold lane, try to create space. Right now, Yawi is getting caught. Can Blacklist even execute a kill? I don't think so. No one can catch him, and they don't have the damage.
No kill pressure, not enough, right? Early on. Oheb is kind of a safe lane on the Beatrix. He just can have some sort of big potential with the reverse time, but then the pieces, you're trying to catch Hilda with sprint. I don't think you're going to be able to do that early on.
That is a practice in futility, if I've ever seen one. Now Yawi pushing away Oheb, and the thing is, this was a 3v2 situation about a minute ago, and what this allows is for Echo to have a priority with the turtle. They're already pushing for it, Carl Tizzy and Sanford.
And that range advantage is already doing work right now. Carl Tizzy on the Lord, Edward trying to steal it, but with no retribution. Carl Tizzy is just going to be able to put Edward down, securing the first objective of the game with no trades on the board. And look at Sanford, already oppressing. Oh no, this is a disaster! Black Nationals wise, he's going to be able to pop the death in his welcome, but now it's Sanford who's on the split. It's the first blood over to Echo. Haji looking for some compensation, but that's going to be Yawi who tries to help him out. The split's there for Sanford. He gets out. Venus trying to find that kill off. First time to bring it back. Sanford's still alive. Has the slam, and the fast and he gets picked off. Sanford is still alive. And Yawi is beating Oheb with a Godly Light as well. Oheb forced the flicker out. The time journey comes in. 1,000 1,000 gold lead in 3 minutes, Yowie. Oh my goodness. Close call.
Yeah, right now, again, look at the checkmate being set up. Echo, who are they pressuring? Haji, as well as Oheb, and now, just for addition, Wise as well. They're pushing around mid. They're pushing around the goal lane. And now, it looks like he could have a possibility of controlling the jungle. We predicted it. And now, Echo, they're slowly but surely making it happen.
LaFell, up top. Benny Cutie has chipped away at almost a whole shield. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in, and they're about 2K ahead. What do you have to say, LaFell? You know, that's a mage. You're thinking of probably like, hey, that's what Bruno does to a turret. That's what Brody does to a turret. Hey, Lunox is here too. It's a good snipe by Oheb, getting a trade back. Wise now looking for it, but that's the Lunox right there. The brilliance is always ready to get you out of these tough situations. Oh, look at Carteezy, the angle. Spots out B, forces out a timed journey. Oh, that's it. That's a timed journey baited out. Wise for death as well. Also Carteezy for the damage will not be enough just yet. Carteezy low, has the Appraiser's Wrath. Gets back to the lead. Going to light, almost sniping Venus. But guess who's here? Sanford's looking for the dive. Now, not going to be able to find it just yet. Pops the split. Edward trying to poke him down. As Echo will disengage. 4 minutes in, Echo is already cornered. Black forced them with an early ult just to protect Oheb.
Yeah, and again, look at what they're doing. They're sacrificing the EXP lane, going all the way to the goal lane, trying to win that lane. And now, because they're forced to be in the long lane,
Oheb. Oh my goodness, Oheb's gonna be killed. Solo has helped already a bit. Venus finds a trade, but it's a gold laner for a roamer.
Dude, right now, Echo really setting it up. There's nowhere for Blacklist to hide. Echo is not just forcing Blacklist to back away. They're forcing them to be in a position of getting attacked from all sides of the map.
5 minutes in, they're 1,000 gold ahead of the LaFell threshold. Is this the point wherein you say it's going to be difficult to come back? Because clearly went over to Echo.
They got one turret. What they got to do, grab another one, and Benny Cutie even secures the gold grab. But after this, you got to control the jungle. After you do that, it's going to be crazy. Because even looking at Haji right now, already completing the Clock of Destiny, he could have completed a challenge that has been first, but it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for damage.
The uncharacteristic miss too from Oheb signals something that's even worse than just losing. Getting tilted in the game, in the final game. That can be the final game, right? How is their mental looking? I'm hoping that that's not the case. Again, world champions are not built without pressure, without turmoil, without struggle, and this is a struggle of all struggles. How they come back from a 6-minute game, 3K behind. Haji trying to space out, so the Wise can come back. Oh, that was welcome. But the mistake field now, Sanji with the Dawning Light as well. Now popping, that's the whole build. Picked up by Sanji. Now, in the top lane, Edward finding a trade onto the objective now as he goes in, alternate waves. Benny is still there. Edward now going to be able to dash away. Benny flickering forward. Eye for an eye by Edward. Getting out to safety as he finds a trade finally for Blacklist. Agent Zero gets away with his life. Close call from Sanji.
Yeah, right now Sanji 3-0 and 0 is just going to get stronger, and now Oheb getting pressured.
Again, Sanford flickering forward. Oheb forced to flicker out with the time to his own. Still going for it again. They find the kill onto Venus. Yowing is straight back. Sanford as well. There you go. You can't get out of that one. There's no way. So Blacklist found a little bit of redemption on the map. Who kills? They're going to protect their mid lane here, but they concede the last hurdle over to Echo. Still maintaining a 3K gold lead.
Right now, Blacklist, they're finding ways, they're finding opportunities. Right now, Martinez gets attacked and he almost got chunked down.
There you go, that's Dawning Light connecting. Edward taking low as Yowie jumped in again. Onto Edward right now. As he looks for the damage, he finds the power of wildness. Oheb with the Virus Passion to clear out the waves. It feels like Blacklist are trying their best to find a trade, but it's always going to Echo's favor.
Allow me to hypothesize. LaFell, what's going to happen if Blacklist fights Echo here mano-a-mano every single time? If they try to trade, what happens? Will that eventually lead to a comeback, or will that be punished by Echo? Because again, 3K, that's about a main item for Orb.
Not yet, because Edward is the one dealing the most amount of damage. Oheb, not just yet, because Carl TZ will always be in front. You can't shred that, because right now he only has the Blade of Despair. It's not enough. They can fight if they want, but the damage, they have to understand, is on Edward, not on Oheb.
Just look at it again, right? I mean, when Sanford can do that, dive into the base turret, sure, he was taken down, but the fact that he still was able to find a trade, it shows how dominant this game has been for Echo. If Blacklist want to come back, they're going to have to wait for those power spikes to hit. And even then, in the late stage, remember, Echo has a Lunox, they have a Xavier.
And it's a delicate dance that Echo have to go with here. Much like a Lord dance that goes for a minute and a half. Echo have the temper between aggression and discipline. They force out a flicker against Sanford down bottom. They push a main artery in mid. Blacklist here employing an Ube. They're letting Agent Zero force out something from Echo.
For me, it's not doing good for Blacklist, because now they're moving around the map. They're making sure they're not getting they're making sure that they don't do mistakes, because they will eventually have enough damage. We've seen time and time again, this beach streaks will shred everyone down. Now Edward,
Edward.
he's trying to slow down the Lord, but I feel like they should let this go. It's just a Luminous, it's not that big of a deal.
But if they let this go, what can they fight for, right? They're going for trades right now. You can already see it, but Sanji's going to be able to clear out the mid lane. They traded for a tier 1 down below. For the first throw of the game, though, I think Echo are more than happy.
As a byproduct, the waves are going to be much stronger, right? Empowered minions. Lord's going to march on through top. Lord is set to spawn in the upper half of the map. And this does open up something for Agent Zero and Oheb to push down bottom. But Echo's still 4K ahead. And now they're also going to push up top. Oh no, I see what's happening here. They're setting up again for the potential split.
Oh, man. Again, there's so many things to worry about if you're Blacklist International, right? Not only just the 5 members, but how they're playing. Not just going for team fights, not just for picks, not just for sieges, but also for backdoors, for split pushes. Oheb with one dawning light gets chunked to half HP. With Lord marching down at the top side, it is going to be acting as a distraction as Sanji's going to be taken to a quarter of his HP. Lord taken down as Blacklist International are able to micromanage the waves for now. Mid lane pushing in, Benny with the chaos. Oh my goodness, that damage on the Venus is insane. Sanford zoning the other members away, but so far it's an amazing defense by Blacklist International.
They force Agent Zero to come back home. He can't force the issue down bottom in the inhibitor. LaFell, what's the answer here? Lord coming in about 2 minutes.
Again, you just gotta wait it out, because right now what Blacklist did, they got a lot from the Lord coming in from Echo, actually, because they see, alright, you're going for this objective. They managed to get 2 turrets down in bottom. That's a lot of goals still, but Oheb here with like below 50% HP. This is pretty bad. They gotta wait for Echo to overextend, and hopefully they can fight back.
That's a small dinosaur. Why? Not tanky enough to time 35. But it only cancels out CC, not damage. Carl TZ with the Razor's Wrath. Haji trying to fight desperately with a quick next. They take the in the midst of the base. Finds Oheb low. Edward gets a trade up in the top lane. Sanford recalling. Echo looking for the siege into the base turret. Blacklist still able to defend. 2 for 1. And Agent Zero was not able to do anything up top. Oheb didn't fall, so there's some silver lining here. Signs of life from Blacklist International.
Yeah, because again, the name of the game is the turrets right now, and we're going for Sanji, and he's doing a lot of damage. And this is why I say, if Blacklist, they're pressured, we gotta look at Edward. He is the one that could potentially give them this game victory. If Blacklist can pull Echo around, come here, take the bait. My name is Haji. My name is Oheb. Don't you want me? Let Edward have the space to try and potentially push, get some gold, get the items, and then try to win the team fight.
And this brute force breastplate in Edward's arsenal is going to be super key. He's going to be super important in maybe quelling 2 or 3 members. Members of Echo, if Echo do send 2 or 3 members, I think Echo just playing their game here. 6K ahead, making a jockey for this luminous Lord. If they do take the board for free, which is likely, oh Lord, that's very quick, they're definitely gonna get at least 1 inhibitor.
That was like what, as fast as securing a buff? That was even faster. Even faster than securing a buff.
Oh my goodness. BLACKLIST International. Edward gets spotted. That cancels the recall. Edward running the hills right now. Pops it. The final blow. He's going to be able to dash for a bit around longer. Sanford looking for the chase. Not able to find Agent Zero survives. Still, it's Echo. Utilizes that set up in the bottom lane.
Looking at this. Again, like, I'm still pulling up. Because BLACKLIST can do a lot. But as we said before the game, Echo, they're scaling.
Buisit na signal to.
It's not like they're gonna, you know, drop in terms of damage. It's getting stronger and stronger, and now Wise getting red.
The Mystic Field locking him down. Wise. Taking out the time for flickers forward, baiting on time journey. The lane base right now. That's the see coming in. Sandy flick. Bring out Edward. Did not use the final blow. Everybody's gonna fall again. The damage coming through. The time journey saves it for the French. Haji locked out of the field. The dawning light outraging the real world inflation. Sanford finds the double. They have to jump from the
Panalo champion ng
Age of the Orcas is now. Echo are your M4 World Champions.
Winning the game, getting the checkmate, setting everything up right now. Echo from the Philippines is your official M4 World Champions.
These are men who have worked their lives, committed, sacrificed so much, and now at the top of their game, on the world stage, they dare to be great, and now they can say they are.
What a performance once again. Stunning, masterful, class. All the good words that you can use cannot describe how dominantly they were able to take down not just any team, the defending world champions, the Filipino MPL champions.
And to date, we still don't have a back-to-back champion. History will still continue having different champions every single year. Echo dominating your war.
The new era from the Philippines led by the best in the world, Carl Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be at your service again and again and again. May we make history or break records. LaFell, any last words?
The only words that I can say right now, this 5 men, including their coaches, are the best in the world.
There you go.
Best in the world.
Echo from the Philippines, once more your world champions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from them on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, your M4 World Champion. Congratulations to Echo. Echo Philippines, they're really loved and they're really proud. Now to award the champion, let's call the presenter. each award. To present the ring, we have Mr. Michael Yaya, UBS Gold Creative Director. To present the medal, we have Mr. Lucas Mao, Managing Director of Muton Esports, and Mr. Baba Frankie, Secretary General of Esports Federation of Indonesia. We would like to invite our VIP to come to join us on the stage. Echo has done it! They are the world champion! They are the new kings of all the regions, the greatest of them all, the super team from the Philippines. Look how proud they are and how happy they are right now. They will be receiving lots of gifts, lots of fortune from this Amfor World Championship. Echo, you may now receive your medals and your rings. Oh, the first one is the ring from UBS Gold. Baby cutie!
Ito sa Benny Cutie nakakuha ng ring eh.
Suka na suka yan.
And also, the medal, Sanford! Curtizi! JP! Sanji! Yowie! Two-time champion Curtizi! Coach Trevor! And Coach Tic Tac! We also
Nandun mo si
have
Doggy, pinakawalan niya
Miss
si
Sophie Guo,
Yawa.
Muton Regional Esports Head to present the finals MVP awards with Miss Sir Michael Yaya. And of course, on this grand final stand of the best player, but we have 5 players who play really well with 4-0 scores, and only one stands on top of them. Champions will also get a Champions Tour by the Ministry of Tourism. And of course, our champions will get to choose the skin of their choice.
Ano kayang skin yan?
Yes, after they fought really well on this grand final, everyone is really doing the best. But once again, only one stands on top of them all. We got the final MVP of M4. Now our partners in the media will take a photo with our champion. This is the moment for Eco Esports, Eco Philippines, Eco Philippines,
Eco. Magkano kaya ang champion?
A big hand for our champion. They dare to be great. They have shown the greatness. Echo, the representative from Philippines. And now it is time to award the finals MVP. Who's gonna get the title of the final MVP?
Benny Cutie yan, kaya Sanford.
The finals MVP goes to
Benny Cutie or Sanford?
Benny Cutie! Hurricane Benny has come to the world stage and has taken us by storm. He has proven that he is legendary.
Hindi siya makapaniwala.
Benny Cutie's first trophy. And he has won the biggest prize of them all. The World Championship. And the Finals MVP Award. Our friends from the media will now take the photo with our Finals MVP. And now, Echo, this is your moment. They want it now. They want to touch it. They want to live it, Amara. At the count of three, take what is yours. 1, 2, 3. Your M4 World Champions. Echo! Congratulations! Echo Philippines! The strongest of all the regions! The strongest team of all! They're proud! Eco Philippines! Everybody, when I say Echo out, you say Echo proud! Echo out! Echo proud! Echo out! Echo proud! One more time! Echo out! Echo proud! We'd like to hear from our champion. First, Benny Cutie, ikaw ang naging Finals MVP. You're the Finals MVP, the greatest player of all. How do you feel right now?
Nararamdaman ko po sobrang saya. Tapos, hindi ko po maliwanag eh. Gusto ko pong umiyak na ayaw lumabas. Kaya, ewan ko, sobrang overwhelming lang siguro sa lahat ng pumapasok sa utak ko, sa puso ko. Hindi ko na sasabihin.
He is so overwhelmed. He is so happy. He feels like crying, but he can't express his emotions right now. He is speechless. Carl TZ, the only player who has done this. Two-time world champion. How do you feel?
Parehas lang po.
The same. It feels the same as Benny Cutie. Yawi, mind right now? What's going through your mind? 4-0s.
Hindi na po kami first round exit. Ngayon kami na po pinakamalakas sa buong mundo.
They're not just first round exit now. They're the strongest team in the world. I have to hear from the youngest one, Sanji Sanford.
Para sa akin, nagbuka po lahat ng pag-aaral ko, ay ng mga paghihirap ko, tsaka mga sacrifices. Para sa papa ko talaga to.
This is for his father. All the hard work has finally paid off. Sanji.
Sobrang saya kasi yan eh. First time ko lang mag-golds, tapos ito agad kinalabasan.
It's his first Worlds, and now this is the result. One more time, everybody, give it up for M4 World Champion, Echo. They're really doing a great job here. Pinas Malangkas. And for everybody watching online, MLBB has prepared an Easter egg for you to celebrate this wonderful moment. Enter M4 in the chat box.
Kayo.
And you'll get the M4 Champion seal. Collect the seals and exchange